What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty. Join my Discord if you want to chat and share your thoughts, the link is in the description. 3 Street Chapter 56 The Great War begins. Bikini Bottom enters the fray. The world's largest sawman, only strong participation. World template. Go Ling. Open black lens bracket. A forest inhabited by animals, close black lens bracket. After scanning the Ling template prompt given by the system, Al was speechless. That's shorter than the template prompt for Bikini Bottom. Forget it. Work. Open black lens bracket. Start modifying. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. 3,000 years ago, the islands in the whole world were closely connected, close black lens bracket. And in the northeast of the mainland, there is a mysterious and ancient forest, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. In the legend of the mainland, close black lens bracket, in the forest named Go Ling, there are gods and unscrupulous people. It is a territory that humans are absolutely forbidden to set foot in. Open black lens bracket. And the residents living in Go Ling, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. It even regards Go Ridge as a holy place, protecting Go Ridge for generations, close black lens bracket. Can be over time. Open black lens bracket. Residents living in Go Ling have gradually lost their fear of Go Ling, close black lens bracket. Among them, there is a super strong surnamed Li who extended his claws to Go Ling. Open black lens bracket. To explore that forest, close black lens bracket. The strongman surnamed Li recruited strong men from the entire continent to attack Go Ling. In the endless war, countless strong men fell to Go Ridge. Open black lens bracket. And this also caused the strong man surnamed Li to lose patience with the secret of Go Ling, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. In order to destroy Go Ridge, close black lens bracket, the top of the snow-capped mountain where the strongman surnamed Li and tens of thousands of top strong men gather, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. In that peerless battle, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The originally closely connected continents are falling apart, close black lens bracket. And the powerhouse surnamed Li and tens of thousands of top powerhouses all fell in that forest, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The civilization of the entire continent was also destroyed in that war, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. And that forest is gradually being forgotten by the world, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Eventually became the most inconspicuous original island among countless islands, close black lens bracket. Analyzing world template. Logical conformity, harmonious conformity. World template fusion in progress. The fusion is complete, and it is detected that the host still has 2 material roles to use. After a short break, Al didn't hesitate, then choose to continue using. Material role. Strong bald. Open black lens bracket. Modification in progress, close black lens bracket. Bald Chang born in a small town near Go Ling. Open black lens bracket. Learning to log with my father since I was a child, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. But out of the oppression of life, close black lens bracket, Bald Chang did not become a lumberjack as an adult. Open black lens bracket. It's about running around for life, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. While running around, Bald Chang learned a lot of skills, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Even because of this, he became a strong man whose strength cannot be underestimated, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. In order to get a higher paying job, close black lens bracket, Bald Chang unexpectedly received an invitation letter from a strong surnamed Li. Open black lens bracket. Became the first batch of pioneer team members to explore Go Ling, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. However, on the second day after setting foot in that forest, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The entire Vanguard team is left with him alone, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. To survive, close black lens bracket, Bald Chang fought the mystery of the forest alone for 3 years. Open black lens bracket. During these 3 years of fighting, Bald Chang's strength has grown by leaps and bounds, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. At the same time, I also became friends with the mysterious people who live in that forest, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Years of wandering made Bald Chang very eager to go home, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Farewell to that forest, Bald Chang met Xiao on the way home, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. During getting along with Zhao Hong, Bald Chang had the idea of getting married, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. However, Bald Chang, who has never had any experience in love, has repeatedly suffered setbacks in the process of pursuing Zhao Hong, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. This also led to the rapid decline of Bald Chang's strength, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Until one day I witnessed Zhao Hong's betrayal, completely crushing Bald Chang's Dao heart, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The failure of love led to Bald Chang never recovering from a setback, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The friend in that forest took the risk to take Bald Chang away after hearing the news, close black lens bracket. With the enlightenment and help of friends, Bald Chang got out of the psychological shadow, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. And gave myself a title, only strong, close black lens bracket open black lens bracket as the strong surname Lee continues to invade that forest, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket only armed with a saw and an axe, I will bury countless strong people here alone, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket even in the final subversive battle, close black lens bracket, only strong is to be invincible by fighting against thousands of strong people with one person alone, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket that midsummer was the darkest place in Go Ling, and it was also the strongest nirvana, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket bearing the fate of Go Ling, I must not lose, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket on the battlefield where the sky is falling apart, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Zhejiang swept thousands of troops and launched a desperate battle with the strong surnamed Li, close black lens bracket. However, because of my injuries and physical strength, I was only on the verge of death, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket at the time of dying, I only forcibly obtained the blessing from the king of that forest, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket nirvana and rebirth can only obtain eternal life, and at the same time end that war, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket with the end of the war, Zhejiang also lived in seclusion in that forest, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket be the guardian of that forest, close black lens bracket open black lens bracket since then, the only strong legend has disappeared in the long river of history, close black lens bracket. Analyzing world template, logical fit, harmonious fit. World template fusion in progress. The fusion is complete, and it is detected that the host still has a material role to use. Phew, Bald Chang is finally done, after creating the legend of Bald Chang. Al didn't immediately start creating the legend of the next new character. Instead, I contacted Crab Country, let him lead Beechburg's forces to Marineford. After these things are done, Al just chose to continue. Material character. King Gigi, open black lens bracket modification in progress, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Gigi was born on the top of Gushangling Snow Mountain, a spiritual stone bred by heaven and earth, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket and it is because of the spectacle caused by Gigi's birth, close black lens bracket. Advertisement open black lens bracket caused the strong man surnamed Lee stretched out his magic hand to that forest, close black lens bracket. Gigi, who has just gained wisdom, is very interested in all new things, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket this also caused him to wander alone in the town near Go Ling, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket fortunately, Gigi was adopted by a human girl not long after wandering, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket and got the name, Gigi. Close black lens bracket open black lens bracket during the days of being adopted, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Gigi's greatest interest is reading and practicing martial arts, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket enlightened by books, Gigi has the idea of becoming a king, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket in order to fulfill her wish, Gigi left without saying goodbye and stepped into that forest alone, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket however, Gigi, who is still weak and ambitious, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket I was beaten so hard in that forest that I couldn't take care of myself, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket in order to become stronger, Gigi constantly challenges the two forest guardians, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket in repeated fiascos, Gigi's strength has grown by leaps and bounds, close black lens bracket. Until the end, Gigi's strength has been able to keep pace with the two forest guardians, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket because of this, Gigi got the approval of the king of that forest, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket and bestowed the title of King Gigi, close black lens bracket open black lens bracket become one of the guardians of that forest, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket as the guardian of the forest, close black lens bracket open black lens bracket Gigi naturally participated in that peerless battle, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket because of this, the legend of King Gigi, close black lens bracket open black lens bracket it was also forgotten by history after that great war, close black lens bracket. Analyzing material roles. Logical conformity, harmonious conformity. Material character fusion in progress. The three materials have been integrated. With the system beeping, Al stretched, finally finished. Summit War is about to start soon, right? Al picked up the black tea on the table. After taking a small sip, then use the ability extractor to extract all the strong abilities. Open black lens bracket congratulations to host for successfully extracting all the abilities of Zhejiang, close black lens bracket. The moment the system prompt window pops up, a ferocious surging terror coercion. Bursting out of Al's body in an instant, feeling the power pouring out of the body. Al clenched his fists. The heart is ecstatic. This power simply surpasses the limit of creatures. But yes, I have lived for more than 3,000 years. This book has broken the limit of the species, after a moment of emotion. Al then contacted Zhejiang and Gigi through the system. Let them go to Marineford first, but he himself is not panicking at all. After all, there is a transmission mechanism unique to the mysterious domain. It is only a moment before he wants to go to Marineford. At the same time, Marineford, Marine Headquarters. As the movement on the Gulf Coast grew louder, the presence of more than 200,000 elite sailors. At this moment, the barrel is aimed at Uzumaki in the center of Wangan. Blue. Report to Marshal Sengoku. Impel Down had a big accident. 7 warlords of the Sea Marshal D teach breaks into Impel Down. Free all the prisoners in the entire Eternal Hell. And the target of those vicious fellows, looks like Marine HQ. Accompanied by the sound of a hasty report. A group of powerful people including Kong, can't help frowning. Sengoku's face was ashen at the moment, and he clenched his fists. I wish I could punch Blackbeard to hell. Damn guy, it's on this bone eye. Sengoku roared silently in his heart. Sen Lang's tone was full of strong killing intent. It seems that Sengoku's mood swings are abnormal. Kong patted Sengoku on the shoulder. Shen Sheng said. Calm down, wait until this war is over, but Commander Kong. This war is already very unfavorable to the Marine Headquarters. If that be ******** D Blackbeard brings the guy from Eternal Hell to mess with. This war is bound to get out of control, and don't you forget. The guys from Beechburg seem to want to join in the fun too. After listening to Sengoku's analysis, Kong's complexion couldn't help becoming a little gloomy. But he who has seen strong winds and waves, quickly calmed down. It's no use worrying now, contact the world government first. If so many forces come against Marineford, even with me in charge. It is also difficult to control the direction of this war. While talking, the movement on the sea surface is getting stronger and stronger. Immediately afterwards, a huge ship wrapped in bubble film. Advertisement jumped up from the sea, appeared before the eyes of the world. With the bursting sound of the bubble membrane, the whole world watching this public execution. Can't help but tremble, appeared, it really appeared. The Moby D*** K of the Whitebeard pirates really appeared. That guy Whitebeard is a madman. Facing Marine's strict deployment, that guy actually dared to rob the execution ground? You can't say that. Did you forget that there are quite a few forces also gathered in the Marine Headquarters? What an idiot you are. Do you think those pirates will help Whitebeard? Do not make jokes. Pirates are a bunch of selfish guys. I'm afraid we'll have to wait until the Whitebeard pirates and Marine fight to the death. Those are the ones who jump out and grab the loot. If you say so, then the Whitebeard pirates are going to die? As the debate continues to ferment, the Red Earl and his party are heading to the Marine Headquarters. After hearing the news, they all showed ecstatic faces. Yes, it looks like this war will definitely break out. I'm really looking forward to this battle more and more. I don't know what kind of expressions those ignorant guys will show when they see Laozi. Roger, I will definitely surpass your aura in this war. By the way, did Brandy World unfreeze? About there? But this guy feels like a burden, why don't you just throw it into the sea and feed it to the fish? Forget it, bring this guy, his fruit ability is still useful. Pangu City. In the Hall of Powers. Looking at the Moby D** K emerging from the bottom of the sea. 5 elders' originally relaxed nerves tensed up instantly. That guy Whitebeard is killing himself. Notice down, get to know that Whitebeard guy as soon as possible. We must hold the mastery of the war in our hands. Anything going on with the Beechburg guys? According to the latest news, those guys have come out of Beechburg. And they're very fast, I'm afraid it won't be long before we reach Marineford. What do those guys want to do? Help the pirates destroy the Marine Headquarters? I don't know, I hope there will be no accidents in this war. When the Moby D** K surfaced, ships one after another emerged from the bottom of the sea. Looking at the team captains standing on the boat. The soldiers in charge of the investigation also called out their names. That is, Whitebeard First Team Captain, Marco. That is, Whitebeard, when the detection marine retells the captain of the Whitebeard pirate team. Zhao Lahao, Whitebeard holds the supreme sharp knife Kong Yunki. Appear in front of everyone with heavy steps from the cabin. Gu la la la. Sengoku, long time no see, I'm here to pick up my baby boy. As Whitebeard's words fell, the eyes of all present were locked on Whitebeard in unison. Gee ha ha ha, Whitebeard, Laozi thought you'd run away. In loud laughter, Golden Lion broke away from the ship. Looking down on Whitebeard, and Whitebeard just glanced at him. The tone is full of disdain. Golden Lion, long time no see. But Laozi doesn't have time to mess with you now. If you don't want to be sunk by Laozi, just shut your mouth. The Golden Lion, who was humiliated by Whitebeard's words, did not become angry. Instead, he looked at Whitebeard with a playful face. Gee ha ha ha, then Laozi is here to watch how you were killed by Marine. I hope you don't ask Laozi for help by then. While the two were talking, a dazzling golden light shot straight into the sky from the bottom of the sea. Straight to the Golden Lion's ship, and still standing where the Golden Lion stood just now. This location is really good, Tilda, just enough to see the entire battlefield. Looking at the yellow square that seized his position. The corner of Golden Lion's mouth twitched, just wanted to say something. Several soaring currents suddenly appeared on the calm sea surface. Yeah, let your kid take the lead again, TCH, if I had sparkling fruit, I would definitely be faster than him. Senior Kai-Shing, it's not the first time I've lost to my uncle, why don't you try? Boiling, it seems that we came just in time. Where are the 2 old guys, left behind? I don't know, Tilda, but why did you appear on me? Chapter 57 Brother Zhang. the audience is here, ready to start the slaughter. Ruffian rolled his eyes at Huang Mian, said blankly. You didn't notice. Next second, Kai Xing, who seemed to have thought of something, suddenly said. By the way, aren't there 3 old guys? Why did you only say 2? Although I really don't want to deal with this idiot. But Ruffian knows that if you ignore him, this guy can haunt him forever. So he opened his mouth and explained, because that Whitebeard thing isn't a thing. Just when Kai Xing was in a stalemate with the Ruffian eyes because of the Ruffian beard. Huang Mian glanced at the Golden Lion. What a terrifying look, Tilda. What? Do you want to fight us? Being provoked by Huang Mian. Golden Lion was furious immediately. I can't wait to rush up and tear these few apart. But on second thought, there are a total of 6 guys on the opposite side who are not weaker than him. If there is going to be a war, the one who loses must be himself. After careful consideration, Golden Lion just snorted coldly. Suspended alone in midair, seeing this, Whitebeard didn't mean to laugh. Instead, he glanced back and forth among those guys in Beechburg with a dignified expression. Seems to be looking for something. Didn't the B************ D in the black robe come? How dare you say that Laozi will die here, compared to Whitebeard's cursing? The moment the eagle eye sees the Ruffian eye, there are faint bursts of pain from the wound that has been healed. And the surging fighting spirit in my heart, it also turned into wisps of black air surrounding the sword body like a substance. Leah, is that the octopus with the string fruit ability? The dress is exactly the same as Laozi, I just don't know how strong that guy is. The Empress glanced indifferently, beside Doflamingo talking to himself. Then his eyes were fixed on Huang Mian's body. Is that the guy? The guy who killed celestial dragons in front of the world. He. Things are getting more and more interesting. It's just, why hasn't the Kaido guy shown up yet? I'd like to see him offend Beechburg. He was trampled on the spot. Cut. Lao Sha glanced at the idiot beside him. There was a hint of fear in the disdainful tone. A bunch of overzealous guys. After you see the strength of those guys with your own eyes. I don't know if you will say such stupid things. Detect target. Detection failed. No target found yet. 510. At this time, Akahoshi seemed to have noticed something. Squinting slightly, staring at Aokiji under the execution platform. Got you. Words fall. Aokiji couldn't help but the corner of his mouth twitched. His gaze subconsciously glanced at Akainu, then with a smile on his face, he raised his arms and waved. Yo, long time no see. It seems that he felt the strange gaze cast by Aokiji just now. Akainu's face suddenly darkened a lot, immediately rebuked. Take care of your eyes, if your eyes don't want it. I can help you take it off, Sakazuki, don't say such terrible things, Tilda. Kizaru crossed his legs, his gaze has been patrolling Huang Mian's body back and forth. And Huang Mian also noticed Kizaru's gaze, but Huang Mian just glanced at it. I will no longer talk to the yellow ape, that contemptuous look and gesture. As if to say, why is this sparkling fruit user so weak? It seems to be stimulated by Huang Mian's eyes and behavior. The corners of Huang Mian's mouth twitched slightly. Muttered. What a scary guy, Tilda. Sengoku, is this the Beechburg faction you mentioned to me earlier? Zephyr frowned slightly, he retreated to the second line. I don't usually pay much attention to what's going on outside. Sengoku hummed lightly, didn't explain too much to Zephyr. Just a reminder that Zephyr must not be careless. After all those guys, but they are all physical masters who have awakened Devil Fruit's ability. Are those guys still here? Garp clenched his fists subconsciously. Staring at the Beechburg Seafood 3 Admiral on the spaceship as if facing an enemy. And Seafood Shichibukai, regarding the sudden arrival of the Beechburg forces. Kong couldn't help but feel some ripples in his heart. Because of the arrival of Bikini Bottom, it also means that this war will be completely out of control. I hope those guys are just here for the fun, at the same time. New World, somewhere on a pure white island, Mr. Dorag, are you still following the Marineford War? Sabo, who just finished training, came to Drago's side. Looking at Beechburg and others appearing on the screen. Advertisement Sabo seemed to think of something, frowned slightly. The tone gradually became serious. Those guys did go to Marineford. Mr. Dorag, when will we start our operation? This is a good opportunity to give the world government a big blow. Regarding the point raised by Sabo, Drago shook his head. It's not time yet. When this war starts, it is the best time for us to act. Also, just got the good news, Ivankov seems to be out of the submarine prison. Only the bad news is, that guy got on a thief ship. Following a gang of villains now, heading to Marineford. Ha-chu Tilda. Is that guy talking bad about me? Ivankov sneezed. Glancing around, seeing that no one takes care of me. So he took Lightning to a corner where there was no one and whispered. We have to get off this ship, now is the time to head to Marineford. That's no different from sending someone to die. Hear the words, Buggy, who was also hiding in a corner where no one was around, suddenly had his eyes lit up. Hastily opened his mouth and shouted, Escape, please take me with you. Bullet, who was not far away from them, heard the whispered conspiracy of several people. The eyes are full of disdain, but he ignored Ivankov and Buggy the clown. After all, the kind of goods that are not even considered cannon fodder. Even going to Marineford with them won't help at all. Compared to dealing with this kind of stuff, what Bullet cared more about were the Murlocs on the Golden Lion's boat. Since I just came out of Impel Down, they don't know much about the outside world. So when seeing Golden Lion was too scared to go back to the boat by several murlocs. Laugh out loud and ridicule the weakness of the Golden Lion. Blackbeard wanted to explain, but was stared at. I was so stupefied that I dared not speak. I'm afraid that this group of moody guys will cross the river and tear down the bridge. Amidst jeers, one of the prisoners seemed to have thought of something. Pointing at Huang Deer on the screen, he said doubtfully. Could that guy be the ancestor of that crumpled B*************** D of crocodile? What you said, could it be the one who dug up the graves of the ancestors? Then the ancestors that were dug up from the ancestral graves? Yes, but I always thought it was just a joke. I didn't expect this to be true. Talking, the prisoner drew a crumpled newspaper from his pocket. What is recorded above is the news about the ancestor of Lao Sha. After everyone scrambled to read the information in the newspaper, eyes widened one by one, immediately yelled, "These Marines are too much. Even my own family's ancestral graves have been dug. No wonder that B*********** D Golden Lion would stand there in a daze. It's insane. Listening to a boatload of people cursing. Knowing the truth, Blackbeard can only stand aside and laugh awkwardly. Captain, if we don't tell the truth, will there be any accidents? Say what? Do you want to be thrown into the sea by those monsters to feed the fish? At the same time, Pengu City, in the Hall of Powers. Looking at Beechburg and others appearing on the Golden Lion ship. 5 elders livid, even though it was already known that Beechburg would intervene in this war. But when you see it, they still can't suppress the anger in their hearts. What a bloody bunch. What the hell are those guys doing? Is it true that you plan to turn the world upside down? Enough. Things have come to this, there is no point in discussing these anymore. The most important thing is to end this war as soon as possible. Just kill that Whitebeard guy, all problems will be solved head on. Mama Matilda. In morbid laughter, a GDF, Andy stared greedily at everyone in Bikini Bottom. I can't wait to rush over and arrest them all, Mama Matilda. What a group of strange creatures, I really want them more and more. And everything they have, listening to the insane laughter not far away. Kaido slammed the wine mustache on the ground. Smelly old woman, how dare you still think about Laozi's things? When Laozi destroys the Marine headquarters, you will be the next one to destroy it. What kind of captain, what a crew, as the 3 disasters Jack who is more reckless than Kaido. It's already gearing up, if Jin hadn't been staring at this kid. God knows what he can do. On the other hand, red hair pirates. After seeing the forces of Beechburg appear, the intense color on the face will be more obvious. It's true that misfortunes never come singly, boss. If those guys make a move, this war is not far from the verge of going berserk. Beckman analyzed the situation calmly, it's just the tone of voice. But a little anxious, between the lines, it reminds the Redhead all the time. This war cannot be stopped just by saying it can be stopped. Advertisement seeing this, Usopp also stepped forward and said, "Boss, should we communicate with those guys? Idiot Usopp. Didn't you notice that the mysterious man in black robe is not there?" As Beckman talks to Usopp, the red-haired eyes suddenly brightened. Immediately give a thumbs up, Usopp, this is really a good idea of you. Yes, I have an idea. The red-haired moistened her throat and shouted towards the sky. Hey, you guys, can you listen to me? Looking at the idiot-like behavior of the redhead. Everyone present could not help but twitch their mouths. I secretly said in my heart, is the red-haired kid out of his mind? Even Hawkeye, after seeing the redhead's behavior, also feel very puzzled, but the red hair doesn't care about other people's eyes. Shouted and asked, what is the purpose of your coming to this war? As the redhead's voice sounded again, everyone in Bikini Bottom on the Golden Lion ship also noticed the red hair below. That guy seems to be calling us. Senior Chixing, you can remove the image, because that guy is calling us. Do any of you know that guy? I don't know, I haven't seen. Yeah, yay, since you don't know each other, then ignore it. While several people were discussing, Kai Shing silently withdrew from the discussion. Responding to the redhead, what we came to this war for? Naturally, I came here to overthrow all of you guys. By the way, who are you guys, as soon as this statement comes out? The audience suddenly fell into silence. Hey, are you kidding me? Those guys actually threatened to overthrow us all? Isn't that guy too arrogant? Boiling, is this going to declare war on the whole world? Yeah, as expected of that guy, the way he speaks is still so direct. Mamama, the guys at Bikini Bottom are too self-indulgent, aren't they? Gu la la la. This is really the funniest thing Laozi has ever heard in his life. Almost at the same time, the people present are not laughing at Kai Xing's arrogance. Just laughing out loud. Just 6 people, want to overthrow all the powerful and powerful forces present? Such arrogant words, even the world government dare not say it. Even the Golden Lion floating not far from the spaceship. It's a bit overwhelming right now, gee ha ha ha. You guys are so funny talking, if you're here to attack Marine. We may still be temporary partners in the United Front. But you said you were going to overthrow us all? It's inevitable. Before the Golden Lion could finish speaking, Kai Shing held his head high and took a step forward. His confident tone was full of killing intent. How? Can't you? If it wasn't for that lord who asked us to wait for those 2 lords here. We rushed down long ago and killed all of you. Looking at Qixing's strong attitude, Golden Lion gradually realized the seriousness of the problem. The smile on the face was gradually replaced by a serious face. And the rest of the Beechburg faction, there is no further discussion now. Arrange them in a line formation, look down on the people below as if you were king. This moment, the smiles of everyone present also gradually disappeared. Yan once again stared at the people present as if he was facing an enemy. What an impatient young man, the momentum is good, keep it up. Gu la la la. Seeing this scene seems to remind me of me back then. I think Laozi was much more arrogant than them back then. With 3 sonorous voices from the bottom of the sea. Everyone present couldn't help but tremble. What's the situation? Could it be that there are other Beechburg powerhouses coming? If that's the case, that's a serious matter. No way, are you kidding me? Could it be those guys from Beechburg? The purpose from the beginning was all of us? 11? Amidst the voices of panic and uneasiness, Kong knew that he couldn't drag on any longer. The more you drag back, things will get more complicated. Immediate execution, accompanied by Kong's sonorous and powerful words, it falls. In everyone's horrified eyes, 3 soaring ocean currents rise from the ground. The huge waves generated, it even overturned all the ships of the BIGMOM pirates and others. Forced them all onto the ground and Marineford, that is at this time. Everyone who escaped from impelled down, slowly appearing on the shores of Marineford too. At this moment, Brother Zhang seemed to have noticed something. Sneer, foo foo foo. Since there is no audience, then let the massacre begin. Open black lens bracket birdcage. Close black lens bracket. Chapter 58 Chaos. In the Battle of Trapped Beasts, Huang Mian makes a move. Chapter 58 Chaotic Battle. The Battle of Trapped Beasts, Huang Mian makes a move. Cha-cha-cha. Since there is no audience, then let the massacre begin tilde. Open black lens bracket birdcage. Close black lens bracket the moment Senlang's words sounded. Brother Zhang raised his right hand, next second. A group of white silk threads the size of a palm shot straight into the sky. Immediately afterwards, countless silk threads spewed out into the air. In an instant, Doflamingo seems to think of something. Immediately his face changed drastically. This. Pat. How can it be, compared to Brother Ming's consternation and panic? The rest of the people present were full of doubts. What is that? I don't know, but why, do I have a bad feeling? Father, why do I feel that something is wrong? Marco came to Whitebeard's side. The tone is a little anxious, however, Whitebeard is very disdainful of this. It's just a circus clown show, never mind them. Talking, Whitebeard raised a casserole-sized fist. The corner of the mouth raised a confident smile. Click, 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 as the light around Whitebeard's fist grows and glows. The surrounding space is like substance, make a series of piercing crackling sounds. Next second, Whitebeard suddenly waved the ball of light in his hand. Click. The surrounding space shattered, the terrifying impact filled with destructive breath. Mixed with countless gravel, he galloped towards the execution platform with a bang. The howling wind in a straight line, blast all the marine soldiers within a few meters away. Marine 3 Admiral saw this, get up boldly, stretch out your hands with hockey. Block this terrible blow from Whitebeard, what a terrifying monster tilde. I can't let you continue to destroy it. While the voice sounded, Kizaru's body quickly turned into countless dazzling golden particles. Like a golden lightning bolt soaring into the sky. Only for a moment, then came to the top of Whitebeard. It's not a good habit to look around tilde, Whitebeard. Without the slightest hesitation, when Kizaru met, he used Bachi Chongguyu. Because he knows, if not kill Whitebeard ASAP, waiting for those guys from Beechburg to make their move. This war is going to get completely out of control. Hey, come up and attack our king, isn't it a little too much? At the same time as the voice sounded, Marco, whose whole body was ignited with blue flames, hung high in the air. Stop all Kizaru's attacks with your flesh, just as the war was gradually heating up. The frequency of the roaring sound became more and more frequent. Thousands of thin threads run through sea and land. Block all of Marineford, next second, originally like a thin thread. Growing rapidly at a speed visible to the naked eye. Soon, taking the whole Marineford as the center area. Within a range of hundreds of meters in all directions. They are all surrounded by pure white lines, like a giant birdcage. Shi. Is it possible that those guys really plan to be enemies of everyone? What a bunch of lunatics, after witnessing the true face of this trick. Doflamingo Heart, I have already guessed the purpose of those guys in Bikini Bottom. As Akahoshi said, is Beechburg really planning to fight all the forces present? Looking at the pure white silk thread that surrounds the whole Marineford. The crane on the execution platform seems to have remembered something. There was a trace of fear in the words, Commander Kong. Looks like those lunatics in Beechburg, I really intend to make enemies with all the forces present. Seeing Crane suddenly say such words, the person standing beside him couldn't help but frown. And at the same time asked, what do you mean by that? Isn't it just a few broken threads? I can destroy them with one punch? That is to say, you are making too much of a fuss. Crane glanced at Sengoku, Garp, and Zephyr, then he explained to him with a serious face. This move, pictured as birdcage, I saw it in the hunt for Doflamingo. The operator first erupts the thousands of transparent threads into the air. Let it fall like a meteor shower when the thread falls from the ground. Advertisement will extend from a point in midair to the point on the ground where it fell. A huge birdcage that is arc-shaped from the sky to the ground is formed by countless silk threads. And these silk threads can block all signals, also exceptionally sharp and hard. Even if the armament hockey is covered on the weapon, it is difficult to cut. The trickiest part is, these threads will automatically shrink after an hour. Will everything inside the birdcage chop it up bit by bit? Only by knocking down the capable user can it be lifted. As soon as this remark came out, Marines and pirates on the battlefield can't help but take a breath. Unanimously, they looked at Brother Zhang with the eyes of a lunatic. Crazy. Crazy. The guys in Beach Bottom are all nuts. Are those guys really planning to fight all the forces here? This is just crazy. Hello, you're not kidding, are you? Golden Lion spread out his hands, confused and shocked. Not to mention how many strong people there are on the pirate side. Just relying on Marine Commander-in-Chief Kong, Marine Marshal Sengoku, Marine Hero Garp, Marine Academy Chief Instructor Zephyr, Marine 3 Admiral, don't say anything else, from this lineup. Even the Golden Lion in his prime would have to run away immediately. Even the Rocks Pirate in its prime, in the face of such a lineup. You have to consider whether you want hard steel or not. Only choose toughness when there is really no other way. But you are fine, Marineford, who directly locked the countless strong people present. Is it true that if you don't overthrow all the forces, you won't give up? Facing the Golden Lion's inquiry, Brother Zhang yawned. Just ignore the Golden Lion. Then he looked at the crane on the execution platform with a smile on his face. Shishishi. It seems that there is still a guy with knowledge. It's a pity you're only half right. Brother Zhang stretched out his tentacles and snapped his fingers. The whole birdcage zoomed out a full circle at breakneck speed. The ships passing by were also torn into pieces in an instant. After all this is done, Brother Zhang glanced at the crane provocatively. Sneered. Not only can I control the shrinking time of birdcage, also control the shrinking speed of birdcage, sigh. Even if I want to, I can cut everyone present into countless pieces in an instant. But that would be so boring. Well, I'll set a time for you. Every 10 minutes, I shrink a circle, if you can't defeat me within this time. Sigh, amid morbidly maniacal laughter. Brother Zhang opened his arms, seems to be enjoying it a lot. Mama Matilda, in morbid laughter, 4 Emperor's Aunt opened her mouth wide open. Eyes full of disdain and jokes. What an arrogant kid. It's just that this method is put in front of us. It's too childish. Also, I want to check one last time. In the end, the tone of the 4 Emperor's Aunt gradually became cold. Are you sure you want to fight us? With the voice falling. Kaido standing not far away holds a mace in one hand. Holding Gecko Moriya's neck with one hand, Wororo. Boy, what did you just say? Beat you? Kaido raised his hand and embedded Gecko Moriya's head into the ground. The words are full of disdain and nonsense. Beating you is too childish. Why don't we change the way? Like killing you. In the end, Kaido's whole body is full of momentum. Gecko Moria, who passed out casually, hit the Golden Lion's ship like a cannonball. Boom! The dull loud noise seemed to ignite the fuse of this war. All Marines and pirates are fighting again, as for Brother Zhang. Then he was ridiculed unscrupulously like a clown. But someone soon discovered that something was wrong. To know, because of Beechburg's sudden intervention. Marine and the Whitebeard pirates are not engaged in a large-scale battle at this moment. And Marine and Whitebeard gave no orders either. It seems that in order to verify everyone's conjecture. Next second, countless miserable wailing sounds resounded throughout Marineford. Why can't I control my body? We are partners, don't come here. Help me, I can't control my body. No, don't come here. Advertisement as more and more Marine soldiers and pirates raise their weapons. Doflamingo in the crowd, Zero, seeking flowers. After seeing this scene, he quickly evacuated that area. He doesn't want to be controlled by his moves to become a puppet. After other Shichibukai noticed the problem, also quickly escaped to a safe area. As for those ordinary Marine soldiers and pirates, then they all became Brother Zhang's puppets, for a while. The entire battlefield instantly became a mess, looking at the thousands of Marines and pirates killing each other below. The crane leaps, from execution the stage came to the very center of the battlefield. It seems to want to soften those threads with the ability to wash fruit. In this case, this disaster will be averted, but the next second. Crane couldn't help but gasped, the slightly panicked tone was full of surprise. Why doesn't washing fruit soften those threads? Just when the crane was stunned, a Marine colonel with a big axe suddenly appeared behind the crane. Chief of Staff, quick, get out of here. The crane just glanced at it. Raise your hand and it will fall to the ground like a piece of clothing. In the next second, Colonel Marine turned into clothes stood up again. He lifted the axe and slashed at the crane's forehead. Without the slightest hesitation, Crane said sorry and quickly punched. After knocking Colonel Marine back, Crane was about to leave. But he found that he was surrounded by Marines and pirates with weapons hundreds of meters away. Johnny's ability seems to have lost its effect. Sengoku's face suddenly sank. Immediately said, we must not let that guy continue to mess around. Just as Sengoku gave the order, Zero Whitebeard looked at the fratricidal men. The smile on the face stopped abruptly, staring angrily at the laughing Zhang Jie in the air. Damn B**************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************Words fall. Whitebeard inlaid the cloud cut into the deck. Then stretch out your arms and grab into the void. Click, 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 the surrounding space is like substance. Make a series of piercing crackling sounds. It seems to want to use Shock Fruit's ability to break the silk thread. And Naval Headquarters is not idle. Akainu, who was under the execution platform, took a step forward. Next second, lava filled with fiery breath gradually covered both arms. Little devil, you will pay a terrible price for your actions. The moment the indifferent voice sounded, Akainu raised his arms suddenly. Like a human fortress, fire countless lava cannonballs into the sky. Almost at the same time, 50 humanoid weapons opened their mouths wide after receiving the command. Locking on target. Target locked. Executing launch order. And after the 4 Emperor's aunt saw her subordinates killing each other, she, who was still watching the excitement, suddenly became angry. Mamama. Amid morbid and maniacal laughter, a series of rapid bursting sounds suddenly sounded. Next second, vicious blue veins spread from the arms to the top of the head. Prometheus and Zeus standing beside him, seems to have felt the wrath of Charlotte Linlin. His expression gradually became terrifying and ferocious. Little devil, you asked for this, I will tear you to pieces. Yeah, things seem to be a little messed up. Qing Zhang glanced at the few people below who were so angry. Stretched with no expression on his face, I don't know how many years I haven't exercised my muscles and bones, so I just used them to practice my hands. As soon as the voice of the whole material fell, Kai Shing immediately stretched out his arm to block him behind him. Snort, let me play this little trick with them. Qing Shang just wanted to get angry, but he was directly interrupted by the ruffian beard standing on his shoulder. Gu la la la, little ghost, you'd better stand behind. I'm afraid I'll push too hard for a while, it's not good to hurt you. You. Before Qing Shang could speak, Huang Mian's out-of-key voice sounded first. What a terrifying monster, Tilda, let me exercise first. While the voice sounded, Huang Mian's body quickly turned into particles. Like a golden bolt of lightning, go straight to Kizaru, who was entangled with Marco in the sky above the battlefield. This flame is really scary, Tilda. I just don't know that I'm kicking on you. Will you get burned? When Huang Mian's out-of-key voice sounded in my ears. Marco and Kizaru couldn't help trembling, however, Huang Mian did not leave any time for Marco to react. By the way, have you ever been kicked by the speed of light? Chapter 59 The Ruffian Beard makes a move, the Red Earl is numb. Marine dug Whitebeard's grave too. Chapter 59 The Ruffian Beard shot, the Red Earl is numb. Marine also dug up Whitebeard's ancestral grave? By the way, have you ever been kicked by the speed of light? Just when Marco's heart was shaking violently, there was a trace of teasing on the corner of Huang Mian's mouth. Instantly, the air surged violently, the corners of the yellow cotton clothes flipped rapidly. Make a series of loud noises. Marco's pupils constrict. The whole body is full of chills. A great sense of crisis quickly grew from the bottom of my heart. Next moment, Marco's whole body trembled violently. Like being hit by a suspended train with a speed of 600 kilometers per hour. Terrible impact through the body, the bombardment left a huge depression in the ground. Never mind, just looking at you, kid, you've never been kicked by the speed of light. It's really boring, Tilda. Talking room. Huang Mian turned around and gave Kizaru a meowing look. With a smile on his face. Have you ever been kicked by the speed of light? This familiar line can't help but make the corner of Kizaru's mouth twitch. The playful look in his eyes made his heart tremble even more. This guy. It's terrible, but now is not the time for Kizaru to think about that. Without a moment's hesitation, Kizaru responded quickly. The moment the body turns into a particle state, it is ready to escape from this area. I plan to adjust the state and distance first, fight Huang Mian again. And at this moment, Huang Mian seems to have seen through Kizaru's next move. Quickly turned into light particles and came to the right side of Kizaru's body. If this, 500, makes you run away, I'm going to have a headache, Tilda. The moment the voice rang, Huang Mian raised his right leg, which was shining with dazzling golden light. Lashed out like a whip, straight to Kizaru's head. Kizaru, who reacted, also stopped thinking of running away. Put your arms over your forehead quickly, but next second. Huang Mian's body unexpectedly appeared behind Kizaru. Too slow. The joking voice made Kizaru's heart sink. But it was too late for him to react. Huang Mian's shining golden right leg has hit the back of his head. In an instant, the bad wind keeps coming. Intense weightlessness, Kizaru can't help but feel a strong sense of crisis. Looking at Kizaru, who was blown away by Huang Mian in midair. Aokiji let out a hot breath. Raise your arms slowly. A huge ice wall condensed in midair to stop it, to avoid Kizaru directly bombard the execution platform. Boom, a wall of ice several meters thick, the moment Kizaru's body collided. Breaks apart like a spider web. Oops, Aokiji pupil miniature. Secretly said in my heart, no time to think, Aokiji once again condenses a thicker wall of ice to block it. But the moment the ice wall just condensed into shape. Huang Mian's voice sounded at the same time, Hey, I still want to enjoy the gorgeous fireworks, Tilda. Isn't it kind of rude for you to do this? Strong sense of crisis? Quickly make Aokiji drop the ice wall condensation. But Huang Mian doesn't seem to intend to let go of Aokiji, a troublesome guy. The body is again dispersed into countless particles. In just a split second, Aokiji appeared behind him. However, Aokiji seemed to have expected it, quickly condensed into a sharp ice pick in the palm. Throw it towards the place where Huang Mian landed. After doing all this, Aokiji decisively evacuated below the execution platform. Almost at the moment of his withdrawal, a roaring explosion exploded below the right side of the execution platform. Gusts of evil wind rolled up the dust and sand in the sky, covering a radius of 100 meters. Aokiji in midair squinted slightly, staring at the looming black shadow in the smoke and dust. After seeing this scene, Akainu who was standing not far away. He immediately stopped what he was doing. What a group of terrifying monsters, Tilda. In the sky of smoke and dust, advertisement Huang Mian is playing with the ice pick thrown by Aokiji. Looking at Akainu with a smile on his face, don't keep looking at me like that, Tilda. What a scary group of scary guys, Tilda. Next second. The moment Huang Mian was about to attack Aokiji and Akainu. The golden light of rumors flashed from behind Huang Mian. The roaring explosion sounded again, only, this time it was Huang Mian who was blown out. Looking at Huang Mian who was blown into the air by Kizaru. Ruffian Beard couldn't help but let out an extremely devilish laugh. Gu la la la. That guy is having so much fun. After Kai Shing heard this, his face was full of displeasure. This is war, and it should be taken seriously. That guy Huang Mian is really too much. After Huang Deer heard this, his face was full of ridicule. Senior Chixing, don't you want to play? Of course. Kai Shing was unambiguous. Straightforwardly speak out what's on your mind. If that man on the battlefield was me, I'm definitely having more fun than Huang Mian. Kai Shing said a lot of thoughts in his heart. It won't work for Huang Deer directly. Looking at the few people talking and laughing, the golden lion not far away is numb. Your companions have been blasted into the air, and then they will face the fierce offensive of 3 Marine admirals. But you still have the mind to talk and laugh here? Could it be that these lunatics are really planning to come here to die? The idea just came to mind, seeing the yellow cotton in midair turned into a golden lightning. Next second, countless dazzling golden light beams crashed down like meteors. Indiscriminate offensive, the entire battlefield has once again fallen into chaos. Seeing this, Kizaru also used the same move, 8-foot Chonguyu. Boom, 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 a series of explosions sounded. Everyone present couldn't help but frown. Isn't that guy the ancestor of Blue Zelino? Why are they fighting so fiercely? Could it be because it disturbed that guy's lucid dream? What an idiot you are. Wouldn't you be angry if someone dug you out of the coffin? Makes sense. Listening to the arguments in my ears. Blackbeard couldn't help but twitch the corner of his mouth. After cursing a few idiots in my heart, hurriedly lead your men to prepare to evacuate this place. After all, Whitebeard is not far from him, if this is discovered. That would be dead. Looking at Blackbeard who was sneaking away. Bullet snorted disdainfully, after coming to this battlefield. Although it's not clear what happened, but what is certain is that their opponent does not seem to be Marine, not any of the pirate forces present. It's the Murlocs on the Golden Lion's ship. It was Bullet who sensed this. Almost all the prisoners who came out of hell also felt the same. But they don't intend to do it so fast. After all, what is the situation now? They haven't figured it out yet. If you make a rash move, it is very possible to put yourself in danger, at the same time. Sabodi Islands, looking at the screen from top to bottom. And countless dazzling beams from bottom to top, as the head of the supernova of the heinous era. Kid's eyes are full of jealousy and fear. Is this the strength of the Admiral of Headquarters? It's so powerful and terrifying. Kira, who was standing beside Kid, murmured subconsciously. Hear the words. Kid clenched his fists. The strong fighting spirit vaguely overshadowed the fear in my heart. Sooner or later, Laozi will definitely become a top player beyond them. Besh standing not far from Kid, after hearing Kid's ridiculous words. A sarcastic smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. He couldn't help but sneer in his heart. A measly 315 million berry guy. I really don't know how I have the face to say such big words. F advertisement at this time, no one in the crowd yelled. Look, what is that Whitebeard guy doing? Everyone hears the sound. See Whitebeard as if he can touch the invisible space. Click, 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 piercing crackling, deeply tearing at the heartstrings of everyone present. Is Dad finally going to make a move? Marco, who was blown away by Huang Mian, clutched his chest. There was a glint of anticipation in his eyes, at the same time. The ruffian Beard standing on Xingzang's shoulders. After sensing this momentum, jumped down with a mini version of Kong Yunki. Gu la la la. In the devilish laughter, the ruffian Beard holds a cut from the cloud. Like lightning, appeared over Whitebeard's head across a distance of hundreds of meters. Shock fruit is not used like this, smelly brat. While the sound is sounding, ruffian Beard holds Kong Yunki high. Instantly, strong winds are blowing. The terrifying coercion condenses into a mass of flickering white light. Wrap the blade end of Kong Yunki. Click, click, click. At the same time as the ear-piercing crackling sound. Whitebeard's arms burst out with blue veins, the whole space was shaken by his movements. Next second, the wind blows, the sea area with a radius of hundreds of miles rolled up a huge wave of hundreds of feet. As if to submerge the entire Marineford, after these. Whitebeard quickly grasped Kong Yunki, and passed the power of shock fruit on the tip of Kong Yunch. That little thing. You dare to hinder Laozi? Whitebeard yelled. Full body vigor, at this moment, he is like an invincible demon god. The surrounding space is even under this terrifying power. Spread like a spider web, gu la la la, fun, fun. Little ghost, I hope you can make Laozi have fun. For Whitebeard's dreadful presence and coercion, Ruffian Beard is not afraid of rebellion. Laugh, tightly holding the mini Kong Yunki's arm as even more blue veins burst out. Next second, the red-black flames flowed down his arms. Cut and twine the whole mini bush cloud, seems to be aware of this momentary change. Whitebeard's tense arms, thereupon, wisps of red-black gaseous flames emerged and entangled the cluster of clouds. When two conquerors wrapped around Conqueror's cloud cut. The moment they collide with each other in midair. The terrifying airwave 1.4 ripples like ripples. Trigger a series of violent explosions in the air. Instantly, countless crimson lightnings seem to tear the entire world apart. Spread and spread around. The howling wind pierces the sky. It was like the roar of several tons of TNA explosions. The huge Moby D*K, it shatters into countless pieces in just an instant. And Whitebeard's stature, and under this terrible blow, suddenly retreated a few meters, looking at the arrogant smile of the Ruffian Beard in midair. Marco couldn't help but tremble. Then, what the hell is that little thing? Isn't he a swordsman? Why do you still have the shock fruit ability? Eagle Eye sees, can't help frowning, although the guy's body shape and appearance are similar to the Ruffian. But the feeling it brings to him is indeed completely different. What's going on with that guy? I don't know, but this aura is obviously not the one we met back then. Momosagi and T. Dolphins who experienced the Water City incident. At the moment is also full of doubts, however, those prisoners who just came out of Impelled Down. At this moment, his face is full of bewilderment. What's up with that little thing? Could it be that Marine also dug up Whitebeard's ancestral grave? Did you get locked up and Impelled Down? That kind of thing. How could it be the ancestor of Whitebeard? Chapter 60. Crab Country of Beechburg Buddha, Iron Fist Shrimp is on the way. Chapter 60. The two big gangsters of Beechburg, see you. Did you get locked up and Impelled Down? That kind of thing. How could it be the ancestor of Whitebeard? That's right. That little thing was as long as a moldy sausage. Even Whitebeard's finger is much bigger than him. If this is really the ancestor of that Whitebeard guy, then how did Whitebeard get so big, upgraded? Discussions erupted one after another, even a group of top powerhouses including Bullet. At this moment, there are some doubts about life. Hey, what's going on with those guys? Laozi was frozen for 30 years. It's hard to be free now, why did everything change? Whitebeard, what does that guy have to do with you? That brat on the Whitebeard boat, come out and explain to us. Where's that Blackbeard guy? Why's he gone? Slipped away not long ago, I don't know where he went. Bullet. Why don't you guys stop that guy? Looking at the prisoners who are arguing. The Redhead frowned even deeper. Those guys. Why are they here? Boss, the situation is getting worse now. Beckman still has that paralyzed face. But the tone became more dignified. Usopp raised his gun. Hit half back. Boss, those puppets are really annoying. If it goes on like this, maybe we haven't shot yet. The brothers we brought out, I have to explain everything here. Looking at the chaotic battlefield, red-haired and blue-faced. Said bluntly. Look at the situation, the guys from Beechburg. You are determined to start a war with us, it's just that isn't that sausage a great swordsman? Maybe there are two sausages? Boss, is this the time to talk about this? Beckman raises the gun, closes the gun, after easily solving a piece of controlled puppets. Hastily opened the mouth and said, now that you have decided to join this war. It's not a joke. Words fall, the Redhead hesitated for 2 seconds. Take out the saber from your waist, staring at the Beechburg people on the spaceship. Since there's not enough trouble, then it's me. Mama, what the hell is going on at Beechburg? To be honest, Cracker is a little confused now, if we talk about the 3 seafood admirals in Beechburg. And those 3 seafood Shichibukai, it's a coincidence and accident. And what is this sausage Whitebeard in front of you? Think of this, Cracker couldn't help but become short of breath. If even Whitebeard has a counterpart, will that be my own mama? Next second, in Cracker's mind, can't help but emerge a woman wearing the same clothes as the ant. A monster with a fish head and a human body, and that weird laugh of Mamama. Dead. Cracker couldn't help but gasp, shaking his head hastily. I want to get the figure of that monster out of my mind. Seeing this, Katakuri could not help but frown. Then came to Cracker's side and asked what happened. Asked by Katakuri, Cracker is numb all over. The figure that was about to disappear became clearer. See Cracker hesitate to say, Katakuri also stopped asking. Instead, he locked his eyes on the Ruffian Beard. Mama, I think you should also have noticed something is wrong? Asked by Katakuri, the ant reacted instantly, a weird thought came to my mind. It's getting more and more interesting, however, I don't intend to let you go. With such a weird idea, not just the BIGMOM pirates. After seeing the Ruffian beard, the Beast's pirates also had a weird idea, but I want to compare it to the BIGMOM pirates. Everyone in the Beast's pirates is more relaxed. Jin even walked directly in front of Kaido. He said without hesitation, Master Kaido, do you think there will be a guy in the form of a fish fruit, a phantom beast, and a blue dragon in Bikini Castle? Although Jin did not explicitly say, but the meanings are not the same. Asked by Jin, Kaido's face suddenly darkened a lot. Advertisement when I think of a sausage wearing clothes that are almost the same as myself. Holding a mace in his hand and fighting with himself. Kaido made a very disgusted expression. Immediately, he asked in the air. Hey, stinky brat from Beechburg. You don't have people in the form of human fruits, phantom beasts, and blue dragons, do you? For Kaido's question, the people in Beechburg ignored it. And he gave him a look at a fool, looking at the yelling Kaido. Sengoku and Garp are also a little worried to know. A few of the guys present at Bikini Bottom, except for that new dachshund Whitebeard. The rest are more or less related to marine, especially the seafood 3 Admiral. No matter the expression, still speaking, even fruit power. All match it, if there is a seafood marshal and a seafood hero. It doesn't seem impossible. Thinking of this, the expressions of Garp and Sengoku seem to be distorted. Showing extreme pain and disgust. Kong also noticed the emotional fluctuations of the two. But he didn't ask too much, after all, he knows the characters of these two guys very well. If even they feel disgusted, no matter how hard I ask, I won't open my mouth. Sengoku, contact the world government, I would like to know how much information they have on Beechburg. This is extremely important for our next battle. After receiving Kong's instruction, Sengoku dared not delay either. Start contacting world government now, but Sengoku is not very optimistic about world government. After all, from the appearance of Bikini Bottom to the present, there are so many mysteries left to the world, coupled with the overall strength of Beechburg. Even looking around the world, that is definitely one of the best superpowers. Even the world government is slightly inferior, such a powerful force. Even if the world government wants to infiltrate, at least 7 to 3 years, how can it be possible to grasp some little-known information? The fact is just as Sengoku expected, the world government doesn't even know how many people Beechburg has sent to Marineford. But world government is not useless at all, at least during the investigation along the way. They still have a fuzzy number, 7, in addition to those already familiar to the world. There are only 7 figures going to Marineford this time. Certainly, these 7 figures are excluding Seafood 3 Admiral. And Huang Deer and Zhang Ji's confirmed the message. When Sengoku was about to hang up the phone, the deep voice of the 5 elders sounded again. Although we detected 7 guys, but it doesn't include that dachshund Whitebeard. As soon as this remark came out, Sengoku immediately became alert. But keep that dachshund Whitebeard out of the field. There are only 5 guys in sight, even observation hockey can't detect different breaths. After listening to Sengoku, there was no strange emotion in the tone of 5 elders. Instead, he spoke calmly and indifferently, according to information we have received. Except for those guys and a crab and lobster. Crab and lobster? Sengoku was stunned for a moment. My head is full of strange question marks, but more. Still an ominous premonition, hang up with the 5 elders. Sengoku hurriedly told Kong the information he got. Commander Kong, according to what the world government said, I'm afraid there are 2 more Beechburg guys left. The mood of the people present was like riding a roller coaster with ups and downs. Although it's not clear who the crab and lobster are referring to. But this must be the guy who never showed up, human beings for the unknown. Everyone is terrified instinctively, although for them, these 2 unknown guys didn't have much fear, but worry and upset are bound to be there. Aren't those guys from the Knights of God planning to make a move? Kong subconsciously glanced at the headquarters building in the distance. Words are full of dissatisfaction, although the division of labor has been clearly defined from the very beginning. But now those guys in Beechburg, they have all been massacred on the battlefield. But the Knights of God must have remained silent. Not only Kong expressed dissatisfaction with this. The rest of the people are also quite critical of this. But those guys are all celestial dragons, even Kong didn't dare to say more. I can only whisper a few times in private. The battle between Whitebeard and the bearded man continues. Advertisement, it's just that Whitebeard is clearly at a disadvantage. Just a few tricks down, then he was beaten all over by the Ruffian Beard. On the other hand, Ruffian Beard, not only alive and well. The fighting spirit is getting stronger and stronger. Gu la la la. What's the matter, big man, do you only have this strength? For the provocation of the Ruffian Beard, Whitebeard's complexion was ashen, and his heart was burning with anger. But compared to fighting the Ruffian here, what he cares more about is Ace's safety. Seemingly aware of Whitebeard's concerns, the Ruffian glanced roughly at Ace on the execution platform. Then he opened his mouth and laughed loudly. Gu la la la. Are you worried about the life of that kid? No wonder you always feel that you are a little absent-minded when fighting? Talking, Ruffian Beard jumped up, standing on a big rock, he sneered and said. If I kill that kid, would you be able to let go and have a big fight with Laozi? The words of the Ruffian are like the last straw that breaks the camel's back. The last psychological defense of the completely defeated Whitebeard. If you don't want to die, I advise you not to do this. How can a proud and arrogant Ruffian tolerate Whitebeard? Immediately, a shockwave condensed on the fist, and aimed at Ace on the scaffold. It seems that Ace can be smashed into meat in the next second. Seeing this, Whitebeard couldn't help but feel a raging fire in his heart. You dare! Whitebeard let out an angry roar, next second. Brutal. Tyrannical. The terrifying aura of a top predator rushing out of its cage hits the face. No nonsense, red-black arrogance covered the whole body. Then wrap around Kong Yunki along both arms, go to hell. You be asterisk 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 D. In rage, Whitebeard stomps the ground. Jump up. Leave a huge dent. Seeing this, the ruffian beard showed a triumphant smile. Immediately turned the direction of the fist, booming towards Whitebeard's belly. Click, 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 the ear-piercing crackling sounded again. Looking at the red-black lightning below, the golden lion suspended in midair couldn't help raising a fighting spirit. Gee ha ha ha, what an exciting battle, I want, too. Before the golden lion could finish speaking, Crab Country standing not far behind him slowly came to the bow. What do you want to do too? If you don't mind, I can be your opponent. With the voice falling, Golden Lion looked at the big crab wearing the uniform of the Marine Marshal in front of him. Can't help swallowing saliva, subconsciously asked. Couldn't you be the Marshal of Seafood, Dili Hao? Crab Country hummed lightly, unexpectedly, there are still legends about me in the outside world. See, Crab Country is so stinky, the corner of Golden Lion's mouth twitched. Just wanted to say something, only to find that the Crab Country has ignored him. 11 Although my heart is very speechless, but Golden Lion didn't lick his face and continue talking. Instead, focus on watching Whitebeard and Sickbeard fight. That guy with the beard looks like he's having a lot of fun. Xie Guo subconsciously clenched his fists, a strong desire to fight can't help but rise in my heart. Marshal Crab Country, let me first, before Huang Deer could finish speaking. Sha Pu standing behind Xie Guo raised his hand to clamp Huang Deer. With a smile on his face, he said, every child's home. Don't always think about fighting and killing, this kind of thing should be done by us adults. Regarding Sha Pu's words, Crab Country nodded in approval. That's right, leave the next battle to us. You little rascals, watch and study hard. This is very helpful for you guys. Talk off. Xie Guo and Sha Pu didn't give others a chance to speak at all. Jump off the spaceship without hesitation. It's been a long time since I have exercised my muscles and bones, Crab Country. Yes, Shrimp. This time we have to show off in front of the juniors. We can't let that guy with the ruffian beard steal our limelight. At the same time, Sengoku on the execution platform seems to have sensed something. Keep your eyes on the figure swooping down from the sky. Have the Beechburg guys finally caught fire? Words fall. Sengoku big wave. Commander Kong. Get the guys from the Knights of God to fight as soon as possible. Garp and I go meet those two guys first. Chapter 61 The Collapsed Battlefield. Crab Country, Shrimp vs Sengoku, Garp. Commander Kong. Get the guys from the Knights of God to fight as soon as possible. Garp and I go meet those two guys first. Stop. Sengoku is now ready for battle. After all, Marine and Admiral are all haunted by Huang Mian. The winner cannot be determined in a short time, and the execution platform must leave people to guard it. As Marine Marshal and Marine heroes, if the two of them can beat the guy from Beechburg. This can also have a big impact on Marine's overall morale. See Sengoku going to get himself shot, Garp is also unambiguous. If you keep him by Ace's side all the time, it would be a lie to say that you don't feel bad. Now I just can't find a vent, when Sengoku said that he was going to meet those two guys. Garp's eyes suddenly brightened, he jumped straight to the two figures and rushed to kill them. See Garp so eager, Sengoku couldn't help being speechless. You must know that they didn't even figure out the abilities of those two guys. Blind shot, it will only put you in a passive situation. But that Garp guy has rushed over, Sengoku can only follow behind Garp. And Crab Country and Shrimp Poo also noticed the two people who were rushing towards them. The corner of the mouth can't help but draw a curve. Ha 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 ha, Shapu, it looks like we've been underestimated. You do not say, after all, that guy Huang Mian can choose his own opponent. But it doesn't matter anymore, someone wants to be taught a lesson, then satisfy him. Between conversations, Crab Country and Shrimp have come to the center of the battlefield. Looking at the crab in the marshal's uniform and stubbled lobsters. Reunited with previous dachshund Whitebeard, the marines and pirates around couldn't help but gasp. Tremblingly pointing at Xie Guo and Sha Pu, lost his voice and shouted. Are you kidding me? What the hell is Beechburg? Why do you even have these two guys? You idiot, run. These two guys shot at the same time, even Papa can't beat it. Looking at the crowd scattered around, Crab Country and Shrimp Poo couldn't help joking. These little guys are so funny, you know how to make room for us. Indeed, compared to those brats in Beechburg, the outsiders know how to respect the elderly better. Looking at Xie Guo and Sha Pu who are chatting in the center of the battlefield. The 7 warlords of the sea present are not calm at the moment. 663. Li. What a magical place Beechburg is. Fortunately, I have recovered during this time. In the corner of the battlefield, Doflamingo squats on a boulder. Looking at Garp and Sengoku in midair with a look of misfortune. Meow meow meow, Martial Marine versus Martial Seafood. Marine heroes versus seafood heroes, this war is getting more and more outrageous. Compared to Doflamingo's schadenfreude mentality. The rest of the Shichibukai are full of displeasure. If a queen of 9 snakes also appeared in Bikibao, the concubine must let her die without a place to bury her. Because the most beautiful person in the world. One concubine is enough. My old man lived on the Fishmen Island since he was a child. Why have I never met those guys, during the time my husband was imprisoned? What happened to the outside world? Boss, I'm getting more and more curious about Beechburg now. Beckman cleared an area and went to the Redhead, only this time. A rare smile appeared on Beckman's face, seems to be teasing the Redhead. After Yasop and others saw the true faces of Crab Country and Shrimp Poo, they also ran to the front of the red hair one after another. Boss, do you think there will be a Murloc with red hair coming out of Beechburg? If there is one, wouldn't he also be one-armed? Would it be similar to the boss in terms of personality? Since all Murlocs have red hair, will the Murloc pirates also have them? If you say so, isn't there Murloc Beckman and Murloc Yasop? In the face of your subordinates, you say a word to me. The Redhead is numb all over, among other things. If you look at someone else, there won't be much turmoil in the red-haired heart. There's even a little bit of a laugh, but if it's me, a GEF. Who can laugh? After all, that is too abstract, advertisement. Like Whitebeard and Hawkeye, if not for the occasion. I'm afraid the Redhead can laugh at them both for the rest of their lives. A long time seems to be annoyed, the Redhead reprimanded immediately. Is it interesting to think about this? Hurry up and cut those damn threads. Seeing Redheads so ignorant, Beckman and others waved their hands. Let it go, only the Redhead was left standing alone. I don't know what to think, at the same time, after seeing the appearance of Shea Guo and Sha Pu. The Murloc ant in Cracker's mind, it was engraved in his mind like a substance. No matter what you do, you can't forget it, it even drove Cracker crazy at one point. Get the hell out of my head, looking at Cracker's almost crazy appearance. Katakuri also seems to have guessed something, the corner of my mouth can't help but twitch. But he didn't talk to Cracker, instead, focus on the sluggish ant. At this moment, the ant is also in deep doubt. I'm afraid that there will be some strange creatures coming out of Bikini Bottom again. If there is a ghost like Whitebeard, plus that damn guy Morgan spread rumors. Her fame and infamy of the 4 emperors, it is bound to plummet. And according to this situation, the enemies she faced. It will also be a monster who awakens the soul fruit. Worororo. This place in Beechburg is so much fun. Kaido laughed loudly while carrying a mace, it seems to want to use this to cover up my worries. After all, no one wants their reputation to suffer. Seeing Kaido like this, Jin couldn't help but shook his head and sighed softly. Although I already guessed what Kaido was thinking. But Jin wasn't worried at all, even if there is a Murloc Kaido in Bikini Bottom. Even Murloc Beast's pirates, he has the confidence to defeat that Murloc Jin. On the other hand, Jack, instead of worrying about a Murloc Beast's pirates, this guy. Run to Kaido's description is lifelike. What Murloc Kaido? Murloc Ember, Murloc Quinn, etc., all said and done. And it's still so weird. Kaido was so angry that he hit Thunder 8 trigrams directly and sent this guy flying hundreds of meters away. Who will dare to mention this matter again in the future? Laozi must make him pay, is everything clear? Roaring, all the members of Beast's pirates could not help but shudder. Hastily agreed. At the same time, Pangu City, in the Hall of Powers. Looking at the ruffian beard, Shea Guo, and Shapu that appeared in the picture. At this moment, 5 elders just felt a little confused. Since Beechburg appeared in the public eye, the whole world seems to be off track. It's getting messier, and as the secrets of Bikini Bottom gradually surfaced. The overall framework of Bikini Bottom. 5 elders can also be preliminarily deduced. Seafood headquarters, Seafood 4 emperors, evil scientist, and more. Results can be inferred, it's what they don't want to see. If we really want to analyze according to the current situation. Seafood 4 emperors and Seafood Marshal are out. Isn't it the Seafood government and so on? Think of this. 5 elders gasped. It seems that Bikini Castle is far more complicated than we imagined. Topman Wobelly stood up, the tone is very serious. If Beechburg is really as we calculated, that's not a superpower that the world government can fight alone. As the voice of Topman Wochu Lisheng fell, the entire Hall of Power suddenly fell into a dead silence. This kind of thing about the life and death of the world government. It's the last thing they want to talk about, but Helpless. As the highest right of the world government, these are things they have to think about and make decisions about. A long time see no answer, Topman Wochu Lisheng spoke again. You don't have to worry, after all, this matter is just our speculation. Only, we had to prepare for the worst, seeing that Topman Wobelly's words are not as hot as before. The rest of the 5 elders also expressed their opinions. From Beechburg's attitude towards those forces. Advertisement, it's not hard to see, those guys don't intend to join any party. And this can also be our only breakthrough, it is true. But are you planning to unite those pirates to fight against Beechburg? Isn't this too ridiculous? No, I think it's a good idea. But it's not the world government united pirates. It's the pirates forming an alliance against Bikini Bottom. As soon as this remark came out, the rest of the 5 elders couldn't help but tremble. A dusty name appeared in my mind, Rock's Pirate, do not make jokes. Have you forgotten the great battle in the Valley of the Gods? Topman Wobelly San stands up, the words are full of confusion and anger. Although the alliance of the pirates is indeed a powerful force. Once Beach Fort is destroyed by those guys, it will be occupied. That danger is the world government, after all he doesn't believe it. After those damned pirates gain power, will also follow the command of the world government. Maybe even from the beginning, they will not obey the arrangements of the world government. And, to form an alliance of those who are proud. That is also an impossible thing. Seems to be a little excited to see Topman Wochu Lisheng. Marcus Mashung, who put forward this point of view, immediately said. Calm down, Topman's magic ball, you're thinking too much. It would be great if those guys could take down Bikini Bottom. But don't forget the previous inference, if everything goes according to our calculations. The pirate alliance will definitely be wiped out by Bikini Bot. And Beechburg will surely suffer heavy casualties. At that time, the world government will send another army to wipe out all the remnants of Beechburg. In the end, Topman Wochu Lisheng's complexion improved slightly. It's just the only problem that bothers them, that's why those guys won't die in this war. If not, everything you say now will become a joke. I have an idea and a plan in my heart. 5 elders immediately contacted the Knights of God. Let them go as soon as possible, end this war, following the order of the world government. Inside the Marine Headquarters Lounge, looking out the window at the escalating war. Commander of the Knights of God, Farron Garland, couldn't help showing a triumphant smile. Let's fight, the more intense the fight, the better. Wait until you guys fight and lose both, it's time for us to hunt. At this time, after receiving the secret order from the world government, the Mirror Knight. Show a delighted smile, Commander, it looks like your plan can be implemented. The Mirror Knight handed over the secret order to Queen Farron Garland. Pumping fists excitedly, his gaze was even more fixed on Kai Xing's body. I've decided, my next goal is, but before the Mirror Knight finished speaking. Saint Farron Garland tore up the secret order in front of everyone. And unabashedly declared, 5 elders are getting more and more confused. Give us such stupid orders, end this war, how ridiculous. Remember, we have only one mission, without any casualties. Kill all Beechburg awful, at the same time, the center of the battlefield. With the sound of 2 roaring landings, Sengoku and Garp raised the capes behind them. Staring at Xie Guo and Shapu in front of him with fiery eyes. But just glanced at Xie Guo and Shapu, Garp couldn't hold back anymore. Patting Sengoku on the shoulder and laughing loudly. Those 2 guys look so abstract, Sengoku glared at Garp. Annoyed. Enough Garp, this is a battlefield, reminded by Sengoku. The smile on Garp's face disappeared instantly, instead, it was full of seriousness. Hey, you 2 guys, who wants to try my iron fist first? Looking at Garp's arrogant attitude, Shapu chuckled lightly, jokingly said. Crab country, that little guy is so interesting. Only. Saying that, Shapu turned his arms, the tone gradually became colder. That little guy's attitude, I really don't like it. Almost at the same time the voice landed, Garp and Shapu jumped up at the same time. Chapter 62 Heated. The collision between the Golden Buddhas. Chapter 62. In a turbulent world, many parties gather. The collision of the Golden Buddha. The fists filled with violent aura collided together. It's like a bomb exploded in the sky, the fierce wind suddenly howled and blew. The ground beneath the feet of Garp and Shapu split apart. The figures of the 2 also retreated violently at the same time. Phew, what a nice fist. Shapu raised the cloak he was wearing casually. With joyful eyes, a strong fighting spirit flashed. Such a mighty human being, since the war thousands of years ago. Shrimp has never met again, only. Shapu suddenly paused for a moment. The corner of the mouth can't help but raise a confident smile. If you only have this strength, then this battle. But it's a bit boring, looking at Shapu's arrogant appearance. Garp snorted coldly, the tone is very serious, stop talking big, stinky lobster. Also put away your smiling face, this is a battlefield. While the voice sounded, Garp's majestic body like an iron tower slammed into the air. The iron fist as big as a clay pot brings a fierce and howling airflow. Hit Shapu with a hammer, in an instant, the air surges like a tide. As if stirred by this vicious punch from Garp, instantly. The suffocating fist wind is coming, seeing Shrimp. The smile on the face is getting stronger, just in time. Next moment, Shrimp kicked hard, muscle agitation. Violent tremors in the muscles of the hand muscles. The sound of crackling air bursting in midair, the breath of violence that hits the face. Makes not far out of Sengoku, I secretly squeezed a cold sweat for Garp in my heart. Boom bang. Screaming blasts split the air, make a series of explosions. Looking at the angry 2 in the middle of the battlefield. Lao Sha couldn't help taking a breath, what 2 terrifying monsters. Only, in the face of absolute strength, even marine heroes can't defeat the monsters at Bikini Bottom. Since being killed by Huang Deer with one blow, there is also a crack in Lao Sha's mentality. And with the powerhouse of Bikini Bottom, popping up like mushrooms after rain. The crack in Lao Sha's heart also widened accordingly. Until it crumbles, at this time he can't believe anyone can beat Bikini Bottom. Even the Marine Headquarters or the 4 Sea Emperors of the New World. Even the world government that ruled this world for 800 years. In Lao Sha's eyes, only by condensing this plate of loose sand together. Only then will it be possible to completely defeat Bikini Bottom. But how could such a thing happen? Never mind. This war has nothing to do with me anyway. Honestly, being a spectator is pretty good. Compared with Lao Sha's rotten mentality, the rest of the Shichibukai including Doflamingo. But now I want to leave as soon as possible or end this out of control war. But helpless whether it is Wangmian or Ruffian Beard. Or Crab Country and Shrimp Poo, the battle between those monsters. It is no longer possible for them to participate. Not only them, like the captains of the Whitebeard pirates. The 3 generals of the BIGMOM pirates, the 3 plagues of the beasts pirates. At this moment, everyone is participating in this war as a spectator. Only a few cadres of red hair pirates, only those few are qualified to join this riotous war. The remaining at most, clean up those puppets, Li. How high will this war push the tide of this era? I can't wait to step into the new era. Doflamingo squats on a boulder. At the same time using the ability of string fruit. Reversely controlling some puppets to block the puppets coming to kill him. And the Empress uses the ability of sweet fruit, solidify those puppets into stone statues. At the same time complaining dissatisfied world government. As for the battle between Garp and Shrimp, the Empress just glanced roughly. It will soon lose interest, even though those 2 guys are strong. But what does it have to do with her? At this moment, she just wants to get out of this ghostly place quickly. Hawkeye only glanced briefly at the battle between Garp and Shrimp. There will be no follow-up, after all, he is only interested in the battle between sword lords. Advertisement compared to Shichibukai's selective ignorance. Marine is paying extra attention here. Garp, give Laozi a hard hammer on that stinky lobster's claws. On the execution stand, watching the fierce battle between Garp and Shrimp. Zephyr's heart is furious. I wish I was the one who was fighting. Zephyr, hold back. This is a battlefield. Kong gave Zephyr a hard look. Then he set his sights on Garp, at the same time, silently cheer for Garp in my heart. After all, this battle is about Marine's morale, if even the Marine hero Garp is defeated. That will give Marine's overall morale, bring an unprecedented hit. Sengoku is also well aware of this, but this time he has no intention of helping Garp. Because at this moment he has been entangled by the Crab Country. Although the battle between the 2 of them is still going on. But compared to the fierceness, still Garp and Shrimp are more intense. After all, the 2 of them, the Devil Fruit ability has not been used yet. But Sengoku soon noticed something was wrong, that guy. It seems that I haven't used all my strength yet. When this thought popped into my head, Sengoku was immediately interrupted by a heavy punch from the Crab Country. Really, I was really underestimated by you. Crab Country's tone is mixed with a trace of dissatisfaction. Fight against him, the seafood marshal, are you still interested in other people? How disregarding him is this? Sengoku, who was knocked back a few meters by the Crab Country. Don't dare to be distracted at this moment, but absorbed. Lock the target on the Crab Country, watching Marshal Marine being thrown back several meters. At this time, the people of the world, I can't help but feel my breathing gradually becoming faster. Damn it, how many monsters are hidden in Beechburg? Even Marine Marshal and Marine Hero's shot can't even stop this war? Marine 3 Admiral is also haunted by that yellow square. Nobody can help Vice Admiral Garp now, damn Whitebeard. If it wasn't for that guy, how could this war have started? If even Marine can't help the monsters in Beechburg, who can we count on? It won't be like what the mysterious man said, will the Marine headquarters be destroyed by this war? Idiot, that's not like, that's it, have you not seen the situation clearly? Marine's top combat power is running out, and Beechburg. It's almost time for you to stop, if even Marine can stop those monsters. Then who can we rely on? Those pirates, as discussions and quarrels continue around the world. New World, Saboti Archipelago, as a supernova of the worst age. After witnessing the battle between Garp and Shrimp, several people can't help but feel the chills down the spine. Is this a battle between monsters? Looking at the screen, every punch seems to cause a small earthquake, the 2 of them. Kid swallowed subconsciously, with a pale face, he said. Kira, when do you think we'll reach their height? For Kid's inquiry, Kira hesitated for a long time. Did not give a positive reply, after all, in his eyes. That level of fighting is for them now, there is a huge gap between heaven and earth. Not to mention being Garp, or an existence like Shapu. Now they, not even qualified to participate in that war. At most, it would be cannon fodder. See, Kira fell silent. Kid also stopped asking, because he already has the answer in his heart. The reason for asking this, I just want to cover up the feeling of powerlessness emerging from the bottom of my heart. And the conversation between Kid and Kira, after being heard by the rest of the supernova. Disdainful expressions could not help appearing on everyone's face. To be like those 2 monsters, with that 350 million Bailey bounty? Do not make jokes, I didn't see the guy whose bounty exceeded 1 billion. Can't even step into the central area of the battlefield? But these are their thoughts, after all, they don't want to cause unnecessary trouble at this time. At the same time, West Blue, the land of flowers. Looking at Shapu who has the upper hand in the picture. Qingjiao couldn't help but widen her eyes, for a while, I didn't know whether to be happy or worried. That old lobster is really strong, fight head to head with that Garp guy. It's incredible to be able to still have the upper hand. Although my heart is full of joy and relief, but when you think of the huge and mysterious power of Beechburg. The green pepper can't help but take a breath, if the Marine headquarters is really wiped out by those guys. Affected by, advertisement, not just ordinary people. In other words, zero. Seeking flowers, that is. This world, it's impossible for someone to be without ambition. New world, on an unknown island, looking at Shapu who was punching Garp in the picture. Rayleigh, who was leaning against the tree, couldn't help but frowned. After drinking half a jug of wine in one breath, Rayleigh slowly closed his eyes. Then he sighed helplessly. What's the matter, Rayleigh? Shaki came and sat down beside Rayleigh, swallowing the clouds and saying. Haven't you told that kid what happened in Marineford? Facing Shaki's inquiry, Rayleigh shook his head lightly and smiled helplessly. Don't tell him about this for now, after all, you know his temper. If he knew what happened in Marineford, it's definitely going to be a big fight again. After listening to Rayleigh's explanation, Shaki couldn't help but feel a little headache. After the two briefly chatted about Luffy, unanimously set their eyes on the curtain. Rayleigh, what's going on in Marineford? Not optimistic. Rayleigh shook his head, picking up the jug and taking a sip, he continued. Beechburg is coming in menacing this time, whether it's a marine or a pirate. It's a hard fight right now, even that guy Garp is fighting a lobster in Beechburg right now. Hear the words, Shaki frowned involuntarily, even though she doesn't like marine. But she also knows the importance of Marine HQ, 0. If the Marine headquarters is destroyed in this war, then there will be a big earthquake in the whole world. Whether common people or dignitaries, all will be severely affected by this war. Looking at the inseparable two figures in the picture, and the pothole-ridden Marine headquarters, Shaki couldn't help asking. Rayleigh, aren't you going to join this war? For Shaki's query. Rayleigh was silent for a long time, then pointed to the screen. The birdcage that sealed off the entire Marineford. With a particularly heavy tone, he said, now the whole of Marineford is cordoned off by Bikini Bottom. No matter what force it is impossible to enter or leave Marineford. Unless someone can defeat that guy named Brother Zhang. Otherwise there is nothing to do. Shaki was shocked when he heard this. After she placed Luffy and then I went back to Saboti Archipelago. Until returning, the war for Marineford has begun. She never dreamed, it's just less than a day's work. The situation has gotten so bad, Rayleigh, can't even you crack that birdcage? Even Crane's wash fruit couldn't restrain the guy's string fruit. Do you think I can break that birdcage by myself? But what if you add the power of those guys? Shaki just raised his hand, but quickly retracted it. Then fell into silence. The overall situation in Marineford is very serious now. And who's free to bother with that birdcage? And at this moment, Rayleigh stood up as if making some kind of big decision. Keep your eyes on Shapu who is fighting against Garp in the picture. Half jokingly. I really didn't expect that, my old bones can still participate in such a large-scale war. Luffy is in your care, hope I make it in time. At the same time, on an island not far from Marineford. Inside a small casino. At this time, the casino has long since heard the sound of dice. The only one who can hear, it was a loud cry of horror. That guy from Beechburg is just too good, the marine hero has nothing to do with him. Damn Murlocs, what the hell are they trying to do? Listening to the unstoppable exclamation and cursing in my ears. The wandering swordsman turned and left the casino silently with a smile. And the destination of his trip, it's Marine HQ. A war of this magnitude, it is no longer something Marine can resist. At the same time, in the middle of the Marineford battlefield. As the battle between Garp and Shapu gradually heated up. The entire Marineford has been smashed to a third. Tsunami, earthquake, iceberg, sea of fire, particle ray. Destroy Marineford all the time, and the battle between Sengoku and the Crab Country. It has also reached a fever pitch, in an instant. Two big Buddhas shining with golden light, it suddenly appeared in midair in the center of the battlefield. Machine Chapter 63 only strong, after so many years, are the people outside the forest still that weak? The moment the golden light lights up the battlefield. The terrifying shockwave swayed like a ripple, boom. A bang, the howling wind splits the air, make a series of loud bangs. Next second, the ground beneath the feet of the two golden giant Buddhas. It shattered like a spiderweb. As a result, Crab Country and Sengoku retreated tens of meters away from each other. Damn it, this fight must end as soon as possible. Sengoku growled silently in his heart, next moment. Sengoku's forehead is full of veins. With a fierce step, the strong wind swept around. The ground under your feet split open. The burly body turned into a golden lightning soaring into the sky. Seeing this, Xie Guo was also unambiguous, step over. The ground instantly crackled. In an instant, the air surges like a tide. It seems to be stirred by the fierce punch of Crab Country. Boom. Another bang. The figures of the two are like two humanoid tyrannosaurs. The fierce fighting style of punching to the flesh has affected the nerves of countless people. Garp who is fighting sees this, the frown deepened. But it is this momentary distraction, Shapu seized the opportunity. Punch Garp in the stomach. Next moment, Garp's whole body trembled violently. Like being hit by a suspended train with a speed of 600 kilometers per hour. Terrible impact through the body, the bombardment left a huge depression in the ground. After blowing Garp away with one punch, Shapu did not stop there. Swiped down across a distance of hundreds of meters like lightning. Little devil, Do you still dare to be distracted by fighting the old man? Looking at the garp embedded in the ground, Shappu is still smiling. The action never stops. It seems to feel the strong 003 crisis. Garp stood up brazenly, one arm shock, like a whip without looking. Sweeping directly towards Shappu's forehead, boom. A violent explosion rang out. Garp and Shappu's body quickly retreated. And Crab Country and Sengoku seemed to have reached some kind of agreement. After a shockwave collision, quickly come to Shrimp and Garp. Garp, the day is right. Sengoku frowned, the circular shockwave with white light covered both fists. Garp didn't open his mouth when he saw this, but his fists were clenched tightly. Next second, almost at the same time, Sengoku and Garp charge at the same time. Years of fighting, the tacit understanding between the two has already reached a terrifying value. Crab Country and Shrimp Poo saw this. I couldn't help but sneer. Is it chaos? I like, without a moment's hesitation. The Crab Country quickly condensed two groups of shockwaves. But Shappu didn't prepare anything. Clench your fists and charge to the front. With the four people fighting again, the terrifying impact and airwaves it produced. Countless marines and pirates who had no time to escape. It turned into a puddle of meat in an instant, seeing Akainu. My heart is getting more and more impatient. Go away Laozi, you annoying monkey. Akainu shouted angrily, raise your arms high, like a human fortress. Aim at Huang Mian, who is entangled with Kizaru in midair, and shoot quickly. Next second, countless fists condensed from hot lava swept over the sky and covered the sky. Seeing Aokiji, I also know that I can't put it off any longer. Can be helpless, whenever he wants to quit the fight. Huang Mian would rush to his side without hesitation. And kindly asked him if he was kicked by the speed of light? If it wasn't for that sentence, Aokiji gotta get kicked at least a few times. And Kizaru is also very distressed by this, because his speed is always a few seconds behind Huang Mian. But the battle between the strong, just a second can produce a series of chain reactions. What an annoying guy tilde. Kizaru quickly particles to catch up with Huang Mian's footsteps. And the battle on Whitebeard's side has also entered a fierce stage. The injuries on the body are also constantly increasing. In the face of this damned sausage, Whitebeard is very angry. But for a while, he couldn't do anything with the ruffian beard. Advertisement Marco in the distance saw this. I am very anxious. But helpless, that level of combat, he can't interfere at all. Yeah, I want to join the battlefield. Just looking at it here is not interesting at all. After Qingshang said this sentence, it seems that there is no chance for the rest of the people to respond. To die first, aim straight for Aokiji. Seeing this, Kaixing couldn't help cursing angrily. Jump down, go straight to Akainu and charge. Huangdir glanced at Brother Zhang who just wanted to watch the show. Aren't you going? Regarding Huangdir's inquiry. Brother Zhang just smiled lightly, shaking his head, he replied. Shishi. It's such a boring fight, I'm not interested tilde. See, Huangdir spread his hands, raise your hand and throw the ruffian eyes away. You're welcome. Ruffian eyes, with the joining of Qixing, Qingshang, and Pion. The originally chaotic battlefield is completely out of control. The roaring explosion sound never stopped, as for the members of the Knights of God in the lounge of the Marine headquarters. After seeing this scene, they are also gearing up in secret. Just wait for the commander's order. Have those guys finally lost their hold? Farron Garland couldn't help showing a triumphant smile. But it's not time yet. Let the products of those scientific research institutes join the battle first. Exhaust as much stamina as possible from those bastards. At the same time, in the realm of mystery, through Zhang Ji's perspective, Al can see the whole of Marineford in full view, but he has no intention of participating in this war. After watching the Marineford battle for a while, Al immediately contacted Zhejiang. Click on Zhejiang's slightly angry profile picture. The endless sea that greets you, and Zhejiang also stopped on the surface of the sea after feeling Al's call. With a very pious attitude, he said, "What are your instructions, my lord?" For strong-only queries, Al simply asked about his current location. After learning that it only takes a few minutes to reach the battlefield, Al cut off the connection. The mysterious legend of Beechburg has been recognized by the crowd in this world, and the mysterious points +1 will be obtained. Create the character, Bikibo, Crab Country, has been recognized by the crowd in this world, and get +1 mysterious points. Close black lens bracket. Create the character, Bikibo, Shrimp, has been recognized by the crowd in this world, and get +1 mysterious points. Close black lens bracket. Creating the character, Bikibo, Ruffian Beard, has been recognized by the crowd in this world, and the mysterious point +1 has been obtained. Close black lens bracket. The mysterious legend of Beechburg has been recognized by the crowd in this world, and the mysterious points +1 will be obtained. Looking at the text that keeps swiping the screen like a torrent, Al then opened the system mall. Open black lens bracket. Current mysterious points 1,469,819. Close black lens bracket. After viewing the current balance, Al glanced at the super specials again. After seeing that the super special offer has not been refreshed, Al opened the lottery page without hesitation. Buy props? At least you have to spend 400,000 in lottery before talking about it. Open black lens bracket. Congratulations to the host. Thank you for your patronage. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Congratulations to the host. thank you for your patronage, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Congratulations to the host, thank you for your patronage, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Congratulations host. Close black lens bracket. Looking at this familiar place, thank you for your patronage. Al's mentality is a bit broken, but just when he was about to throw another 10 rounds to test the water, dazzling golden light flashed in front of my eyes. Open black lens bracket. Congratulations to host for getting worldview material X1, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Congratulations to host for getting bikini bottom character material X3, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Congratulations to the host, thank you for your patronage, close black lens bracket. When you see the next second of the system pop-up window, Al decisively opened the creation page. Now the legend of Bikini Bottom has been recognized by the public. The frequency of mystic points earned is also not as efficient as in the past. As for the legend of Go Ling, it has not yet been exposed to the public eye. If a new world can be created, that means Al can earn mystery points more efficiently. Know that now is the time for war to break out. It's also the best time to earn mystery points. Open the material converter. After Al converts the 3 Bikini Bot character materials into one designated material. Immediately opened the creation page, after seeing a new worldview. Al couldn't help blinking. My mind is full of bold question marks. This is so, it doesn't even need any modifications. Just gut that cat up, is there anything he can't break? Think of this, Al immediately started the first creation. Unfortunately, the system does not allow Al to be used without modifying anything. Advertisement. Although my heart is very speechless. But Al also thought of a good idea. Open black lens bracket. Creating a new world, close black lens bracket. Modification in progress. At the same time, Holy Land Marijoy, Pangu City, inside the Hall of Power. 5 elders looked angrily at the gradually chaotic battlefield in the picture. Can't help scolding angrily. What the hell is that fellow Farron Garland doing? Why don't you make a move? Are those guys planning to wait until everyone is dead before doing it? While the 5 elders were outraged by Farron Garland's actions, suddenly, a hurried voice came from the phone bug on the side. Report Lord 5 elders, according to the latest news from the front. The Revolutionary Army has waged war on many of the Confederacy. Whether to take action, Wen Yan, 5 elders, who was already in a bad mood, suddenly became furious. Immediately order the dispatch of troops to wipe out the Revolutionary Army. After all, on the battlefield of Marineford, ordinary soldiers are powerless to resist. But attacking the Revolutionary Army can come in handy. What a swarm of annoying flies. When this war is over, I must make them pay in blood. While the 5 elders were talking, another phone bug came rushing again. Report to Lord 5 elders. According to news from CP Cipher Poll, they found One Piece's right hand in New World. Pluton Hillbaugh's Rayleigh's figure. That guy's destination seems to be the Marineford battlefield. Falling with the voice, another phone bug rang in a hurry. Report to Lord 5 elders. According to the message sent back by CP Cipher Poll, they found the wandering swordsman Yishao in the waters near Marineford. That guy seems to be going to the Marineford battlefield. Before the voice falls, the phone bug that hung up earlier rang again in a hurry. A series of strong people from all over the world. And news of the army gathering at Marineford keeps coming. Listening to the bad news that the phone bug rang one after another, 5 elders suddenly panicked, immediately opened his mouth and cursed. What the hell are those guys trying to do? Don't you think this war is not chaotic enough? When angry, the phone bug rang again, immediately let 5 elders tremble. Report Lord 5 elders, according to the latest news from the front. Cipher Poll stationed in the waters near Marineford. I found 2 figures heading towards Marineford at a very fast speed. And, those 2 guys are still galloping on the sea. The moment the voice hits the ground, a series of deafening sonic booms mixed with the sound of waves suddenly sounded. Wen Yan, 5 elders couldn't help frowning. A terrible idea came to mind. Is that the mysterious man in black robe? Or Beechburg Reinforcement 2.5, seems to dispel 5 elders' suspicions. The man on the other side of the phone bug spoke again. No, Lord 5 elders, according to the photos sent back from the front. Though vaguely, but it can be seen that it is not a murloc. It's a human, and a monkey. Words fall, the doubts on 5 elders' faces became more serious. Humanity? Monkey? Could it be that black-robed man from Water City? If it's that guy. Thinking of this, 5 elders couldn't help but take a breath. Hurry up and ask your subordinates to upload the photos. After all, the situation on the Marineford battlefield is already chaotic. Compared with the intervention of major forces in the world, the 5 elders are more worried about the reinforcements Beechburg is sending in. With the photo uploaded, 5 elders' complexion also improved a little. Although the photo is a bit blurry, but it is not difficult to see that. This and the mysterious black-robed man who appeared in the capital of water. There is a world of difference. Just when the 5 elders were about to breathe a sigh of relief, birdcage over Marineford battlefield slowly opened a gap. It seems that it was deliberately made for someone's appearance. 5 elders see, his face instantly turned livid. Damn it, is that guy really a reinforcement from Beechburg? Quickly let the Knights of God join the battle. Fall with the roar of the 5 elders immediately afterwards. Two figures fell in the center of the battlefield like meteorites. After so many years, are people outside the forest still so weak? Chapter 64. Heaven was not born, I am bald and strong, and the eternal saw road is like a long night. Chapter 64. I was not born in the sky, I am bald and strong, and the eternal saw road is like a long night. After so many years, are people outside the forest still so weak? Arrogant, and extremely confident voice sounded at the same time. After seeing Ji Jiang, everyone in Bikibao, everyone stopped what they were doing. Yeah, this guy is finally here, it's disgusting, that guy, I'm not happy yet. Gu la la la. Stinky brat, wait until you survive that guy before continuing our battle. Crab country, it looks like our entertainment is over. It's boring, let's go, with the evacuation of everyone in Beechburg. The originally chaotic battlefield instantly quieted down. Even the puppets stayed where they were. It seems that a terrible guy has come. Garp squinted slightly, keep your eyes on Ji Jiang in the center of the battlefield. Sengoku nodded lightly upon hearing that, I can feel the aura emanating from him. It's nothing like those guys before, it looks like a super rival. On the execution stand, Zephyr looked solemn, staring at Ji Jiang and King Jiji in the middle of the battlefield. Marshal Kong. The breath of those two guys. It's very wrong, Wen Yan, Kong hummed lightly. The frown deepened, it's just the breath emanating from the invisible. It already made him feel a strong sense of oppression and crisis. Where did Zhang come from, that human being? Why have I never heard of such a powerful existence in this world? Could it be that that guy is the lord in the legend of Beechburg? Words fall, Zephyr suddenly seemed to think of something. With a very serious tone, he said, that Sengoku guy once let me watch the recorded footage of the Aqua City incident. But that guy gives me far less feeling than that mysterious man in black robe. The guy in the field, the intuitive feeling brought to me. It's a savage, violent brute force, but the black-robed man from the water capital incident. But it brings me a strange feeling that is deep and I can't look directly at 06. In the end, Zephyr's voice seemed to be trembling. Kong heard that, eyes subconsciously narrowed into a slit. The more you see, the stronger you are in King Jiji. The anxiety and uneasiness in my heart became more and more intense. Whitebeard who lost his battle target, at this time, he also locked his eyes on Ji Chang. It seems to feel the sense of oppression that is only strong in the invisible. Whitebeard's face became more serious. Daddy. Surely that guy is the legendary king of Bikini Bottom. I really didn't expect that, the legend of Beechburg is actually true. Marco came to Whitebeard's side, the solemn tone is full of fear. After hearing Marco's words, Whitebeard snorted coldly. Suddenly burst out an unparalleled terrifying momentum. Little ones, cheer up Laozi, just a bald head with an axe. Keep punching Laozi. Get Ace out and we'll leave this battlefield immediately. Although Whitebeard's momentum is strong, but those pirates are in hesitation at the moment. Looking at only strong eyes, it was like seeing an indescribable horror. Just a glance, my heart was overwhelmed by great fear. This is the fear that comes from the depths of the soul. It is the most instinctive fear of the body, even if they try to restrain this emotion. But the more restrained, the more you find that you are completely powerless to restrain and resist. For a while, countless pirates trembled uncontrollably. There are even a lot of pirates who are crazily retreating to the edge of the battlefield to escape. See this situation, the 7 warlords of the sea who are on the edge of the battlefield can't help but tremble. There is no smile on Doflamingo's face at this moment. Some are just dignified and serious, that rascal. It's like a devil in human skin, is that the king of Beechburg? Compared to Doflamingo's doubts, Lao Sha and Hawkeye who participated in the Water City incident. At this time, I have a different feeling, as for the bald head in the middle of the battlefield. In fact, the two already had the answer in their hearts. But the answer, if you think about it, it's too scary. But it is undeniable that guy can't possibly be the grown-up in the legend of Bikini Bottom. Who the hell is that guy? Why is my heart so restless? Regarding the doubts raised by the Empress, it is estimated that everyone present felt the same way. But no one can answer it. Advertisement Kaido couldn't help taking a breath. The mace in his hand was slowly lowered from his shoulders. It seems to see the seriousness on Kaido's face. Quinn stepped back subconsciously. Master Kaido, those lunatics at Beechburg, could it be that he really intends to wage an all-out war with us? For Quinn's trembling inquiry, Kaido's eyes are lost. With a very serious tone, he said, it looks like an all-out war is about to start. Only, who the hell is that guy? The Lord from the Bikini Bottom legend? Or the top experts from other forces? Seeing Kaido fall into endless doubts. Jin stood up, at the same time, he said, Master Kaido. From the behavior of those Beechburg guys, that guy doesn't seem to be the big man in the legend of Beechburg. But whoever that guy is, they're definitely targeting us. The Redhead standing not far away, it seems to have overheard the conversation between Jin and Kaido. The tone has gradually become serious and serious. If you look at it according to the situation, I'm afraid all the forces present will be doomed. You must follow my command later, absolutely don't force it. And at this time, the officers and crew of the BIGMOM pirates. At this moment, everyone is gathering in the direction of Big Mom like they're facing an enemy. And those weaker crew members, all trembling bodies. Can't even hold a weapon. See this situation, Katakuri couldn't help thinking of retreating from this battlefield. After all, they are just spectators, getting caught up in this bad war is a nuisance these days. Now there is another terrifying existence that even his knowledge and color can't predict. Instinct told him, if you don't evacuate this battlefield, the probability of dying in this battlefield is at least 90%. But Katakuri is not the captain of BIGMOM pirates after all. So I can only follow the arrangement of my aunt, and Big Mom's thoughts at the moment are similar to Katakuri's. Only one difference is, Big Mom has no intention of evacuating directly, but thinking, when other forces are fighting with those guys from Beechburg, then lead your men to evacuate from this battlefield. Compared to Ant's idea, prisoners who escaped from impelled down. I am so sorry right now, they were finally free. Are you going to die here now? How can they accept this? Damn Blackbeard, where the hell is that guy? If it wasn't for that guy, Laozi would still be talking and laughing and impelled down. Don't make me find that guy. If Laozi finds him, I must let him die in front of Laozi first. Listening to the noise coming from my ears, as the top powerhouses of the impelled down force. At this moment, I can't help but feel a little upset. The Red Earl frowned. Keep your eyes on Zhejiang in the center of the battlefield. It seems that he intends to use his knowledgeable color that can spy on the voices of all things to test. Next second, the Red Earl let out a sigh, eyes full of doubt and shock. Why? Why does my sense of knowledge fail on that guy? And what is this unusual breath? Who the hell is that guy? This weird feeling, even Laozi never had it in his prime. As soon as this word comes out, the top powerhouses present couldn't help but take a breath. They don't have the keen sense of the Red Earl, but more or less, you can also feel the invisible coercion from Zhejiang. But now, hearing what the Red Earl said, it was only a little surprise at first. It directly transitioned to a full face of shock. To know, the Red Earl in his prime, but the one who can fight the entire 4 Emperors regiment alone. But now I heard such words from his mouth. Doesn't this mean that the bald head in the middle of the battlefield? Is it stronger than the Red Earl? Think of this. Even a guy as proud as Bullet can't sit still, and the prisoner standing beside him. It is a direct proposal to join forces. After all, this situation is very unfavorable to them. After hearing this proposal, Red Earl and Bullet and other top powerhouses. Although my heart is very resistant, but in the present situation, if not join hands, then they will definitely be the weakest party. It is also very likely to be the first side to be kicked out. After careful consideration, the Red Earl snorted coldly. I hope you don't drag Laozi down by then, advertisement. Hearing this, Bullet was immediately upset, immediately responded. Take care of yourself, old man. I hope you don't cry for help when the time comes. At the same time, in the lounge of Marine headquarters, looking at Zhejiang and Gigi in the middle of the battlefield, Farron Garland is also a little impatient at the moment. After thinking for a moment, Shen Sheng said, it seems that we can't continue to sit and wait for death. If Beechburg keeps sending people over, this war is bound to escape our control. As soon as this remark came out, immediately aroused the Mirror Knight's dissatisfaction. Wouldn't it be better to do this sooner? If I had done it sooner. No matter how many guys come, they will all become our souls under the sword. But Mirror Knight did not put these words on the bright side. After all, once these words are spoken, it will definitely cause Farron Garland's dissatisfaction. At that time, if you change your mind again, that would be worth the candle. Think of this, Mirror Knight is also unambiguous. Immediately gear up and aim the spearhead at only strong. Let's go, I've been waiting for this moment for a long time. Almost at the same time, the spearheads of all the big forces are aimed at only the strong. It seems that as long as only Chang and King Gigi make a move, it will be attacked by the forces present, and at this moment, only Chang in the center of the battlefield sensed the hostility from the surroundings. But it was full of indifference. Gu la la la. Long time no see. Gong, the ruffian beard stands on the strong shoulders. Greeted warmly like an old friend reunited after a long absence. 767 Xie Guo, Sha Pu and others also came to Ji Chang. Very friendly attitude, however, Ji Jiang still maintained that paralyzed face. His tone was as cold as an ice cave. I haven't stepped out of that forest for a long time. Why are you still so weak? As soon as this remark came out, all the major forces present couldn't sit still, especially those guys who fought against everyone in Bikini Bottom. At this moment, I can't wait to try the strength of Zhejiang. How dare you say such arrogant words, however, to their surprise. After listening to Ji Chang's words, everyone in Beechburg smile instead of anger. Ji la la la. Brother Chang, it's meaningless for you to say that. Who doesn't know that in that forest, except the Lord? Your strength is the most unfathomable. As soon as the whole ruffian beard finished speaking, King Gigi, who was standing next to Zhejiang, suddenly became unhappy. Directly holding the tentacles of the store's beard, he glared at the ruffian beard very menacingly. Boy, did you forget something? Being stared at by King Gigi, the ruffian beard couldn't help breaking out in a cold sweat. Hastily changed his mouth and said, your strength is also unfathomable. So don't embarrass us. At this time it's just as if I noticed something. Snort. Slow, too slow. That squirrel that can only climb trees is 100 times faster than your excellency. The moment the voice hits the ground, a dazzling golden light quickly spanned half the distance of the battlefield. Appeared on top of only Chang, looking at Kizaru in midair. Huang Miangang was about to make a move, he was stopped by force. Back off, the Lord asked me to tell you, the next battle will be dominated by me alone. Words fall, everyone in Beechburg has no complaints. Although they also want to continue to feel happy. But compared to my own happiness, they even want to know how strong Zhejiang is. Without any hesitation, after everyone retreated to the Golden Lion's ship in Bikini Bottom. He just glanced at the astonished Kizaru in midair. Gigi, get out too. Hey, I'm just strong, that Lord didn't let me. Before Gigi finished speaking, just make an action to hold the chainsaw. In an instant, Ling Gigi couldn't help but explode all over his body. You, count yourself as ruthless, after putting down this harsh word. Gigi came behind everyone in Bikini Bottom without looking back. Seeing the bald head in front of me seems to want to fight alone. Kizaru paused in midair, dived down quickly, almost at the same time. Akainu, Aokiji, also followed suit. Chapter 65 Only strong. Hold on, Your Excellency, you are not worthy for me to pull out this axe. Chapter 65 Only strong. Hold on, Your Excellency, you are not worthy for me to pull out this axe. In an instant, countless dazzling golden rays, while Kizaru rushes down, encircle a radius of 100 meters. Aokiji raised his arms, countless ice thorns filled with cold light hang in the air. Next second, under the control of Aokiji, these ice thorns are like locking on the target and rush straight to kill. Almost at the same time, Akainu also immediately targeted only the strong. Countless fists filled with hot lava rushed towards us. The concentrated fire siege of the three top powerhouses. The countless people who are watching this picture are excited. After all, in their eyes, the bald guy standing in the middle of the battlefield is not those guys from Beechburg. Just a human being. How could it be possible to resist the joint attack of 3 Marine Admirals? I don't know where that bald man got the courage from. How dare you stand alone in the middle of the battlefield? But why didn't those Beechburg guys shoot him? Could that guy be from Beechburg too? Idiot, do you think that guy looks like a Murloc? Is it possible that that guy is the legendary king of Bikini Bottom? What an idiot you are. Could it be that you forgot the guy who appeared in the Water City incident? And how did you confirm that that guy is the adult in the legend of Bikini Bottom? You're almost done enough, whoever is the lord of the Bikini Bottom legend. It's not something we should consider, as long as Marine 3 Admiral can defeat that bald head, it will be the best result. As public opinion continues to ferment, after the world government heard about these rumors. Report these comments to 5 elders immediately. But 5 elders did not respond, don't even care about those ignorant civilians. All they are thinking about now is one thing, that is. Can Marine 3 Admiral defeat the bald man in the center of the battlefield? At the same time, the center of the battlefield. Facing the attack from 3 sides, Zhejiang doesn't seem to have any intention of avoiding it. On the contrary, the corner of the mouth outlines a radian. No matter how strong you are, you can't touch me anymore. Because I never intended to bully your excellency with an axe. Accompanied by a strong voice falls, countless golden rays of light filled with aura of destruction descended in response. In a series of explosions, countless ice thorns crashed down. The ear-piercing crackling sound is endless, and it's not over yet. While the ice spikes collided and shattered, congeals quickly. As if to freeze the only force in place, so as not to forcefully escape from that area. Next, countless giant fists with faces full of scorching breath. Bombarded on the huge ice block like a prehistoric beast. The wanton flowing lava even blocked the area within a radius of 100 meters. Make a series of screeching noises, looking at the scene in front of me. Everyone in the room broke into a cold sweat, and those Marines with low strength jumped up for joy. Seems to be shooting for Marine 3 Admiral, so excited and proud. In contrast to those pirates, at this moment, it is also the cheers and shouts of the enemy's retribution. Is this the superpower from Beechburg? I don't know where that bald man got the courage to say those Murlocs are weak. That's it, at first I thought how strong it was. The result is this level. Compared to those Murlocs in Beechburg, this bald head is really weak. Compared with those guys with low strength, like those strong men with a little bit of strength. I can't even laugh at this moment, because they can perceive. In that area shrouded in fog, that bald breath, it is climbing rapidly with a very terrifying posture. Like a demon god from hell being enraged, as if the next second. You can drag everyone on the entire battlefield into hell. In an instant, fear is roaring like a tide, just for a moment. There are countless powerful people showing horrified expressions. Lightning Flint Room, those Marine soldiers and pirates who are cheering. As if seeing the face of a demon god, passed out in an instant. As the number of fainting people continues to increase and spread. The powerhouses present quickly sensed something was wrong. Hockey of Conquerors. No, this is definitely not hockey from Conquerors. Because Conquerors hockey doesn't spread slowly like this. It covers the world in an instant. What exactly is that? Is it your own power? It's still because of the chain reaction caused by the explosion of breath. If this is the case, it would be too scary, advertisement. Just when you powerhouses couldn't figure it out. A loud noise exploded in the center of the battlefield. In an instant, the howling wind splits the air, make a series of deafening explosions. Immediately afterwards, don't wait for everyone to realize what happened. Only a strong body like an iron tower smashes through the air. Clothes are blowing in the strong wind, make a series of crackling explosions. Next second, Kizaru, who was in midair, seemed to have sensed something. Can't help but get chills down the spine. Great fear and uneasiness rushed into my heart in an instant. The strong sense of crisis is even more involved in the nerves of the whole body. Just when Kizaru was about to make a move, a strong voice suddenly appeared behind him. Without any words, not to mention any fancy moves. Just lightly lift your leg and kick. Next second. A deafening sonic boom exploded in midair, as a golden ball of light rushed to the ground. Aokiji, who was hundreds of meters away, couldn't help but tremble. Don't wait for him to react. A fist the size of a strong casserole slammed into his abdomen. Next moment, it's like being hit by a suspended train with a speed of 600 kilometers per hour. Aokiji's whole body trembled violently, stomach is even more overwhelming. The terrifying impact penetrates the body, without waiting for Aokiji to fall. Then blasted a huge fist print tens of meters wide and deep on the ground 100 meters below. Seems to have noticed, a Kainu pupil constriction. Quickly condensed the strength of the whole body on the arms. Then, like a whip, he flung it to the side without even looking at it. Dark Hound. Just the second the phone rang, only forcefully opened a palm the size of a futon. Pinching the head of a giant dog filled with hot lava. Then squeeze it lightly. Akainu's arms seemed unable to support this huge and brutal force. Instantly shattered into countless lava drops on the ground. Too late to express any emotion, the moment Akainu saw his arm being crushed. Immediately planned to evacuate this area. The whole material is only as strong as looking into the future. A dodge appeared right in front of Akainu, without any words. There was no movement by Ren Li either, a simple punch. The moment the bombardment hit Akainu's fierce chest, his entire chest cavity exploded. Elementalized. Your Excellency is not weak, but with this level, it's far inferior to that stupid starfish. Words fall, without waiting for any reaction from Akainu. The roaring sonic boom sounded again. 3 bangs sounded in succession. Let everyone present clearly understand that only strong strength. To what extent? Are you kidding me? It must be a lie, it must be a dream. I just counted, from that bald shot to the end, it took less than 10 seconds. 10 seconds? Hey, this joke is not funny at all. Solve 3 Marine Admirals in less than 10 seconds. Isn't this something that humans can do? 7. Father, I'm not dreaming, am I? Why do I feel like this is happening so fast, and it's not real at all? Marco's eyes at this moment are full of shock and disbelief. He has experienced Kizaru's strength before, although not particularly powerful. But that is not an existence that can be solved easily. Facing the question raised by Marco, Whitebeard doesn't seem in the mood to answer. Even known as the world's strongest man, at the moment I was also strongly shocked and surprised by the strong shot. The instinct in my heart sent out a strong danger signal. It seems to be trying to persuade Whitebeard not to shoot. Otherwise, it must be a dead end, but the arrogance in his heart did not make Whitebeard choose to retreat. Instead, he strongly asked him to rush up and fight with it. Because, he's Whitebeard, gu la la la, laughing. Whitebeard seemed persuaded by the pride in his heart. All God's aura instantly soared, his eyes are full of fighting intent. Marco on the side saw this. I rushed to Whitebeard as if my heart was on fire. Father, what are you planning to do? When asked by Marco. Whitebeard just threw it away, the tone is full of unparalleled confidence and arrogance. Shut up Marco. Laozi is Whitebeard. How can you feel timid because of a stinky bald head? While the voice sounded, advertisement on the execution stand. Looking at the 3 admirals of Marine who were easily defeated by Ji Chang in the blink of an eye. Kong's face became more and more gloomy. The worries and anxieties in my heart are getting stronger and stronger. Garp, Sengoku, Zephyr. It is enough for me to guard the execution platform, you go and subdue that bald head. We must not let him go on messing around any longer. With Kong's command, Sengoku, Garp, and Zephyr did not dare to neglect. Immediately adjust your state to the peak, and waiting for a perfect moment. Prepare to give Ji Chang a fatal blow, and Garp is no longer as reckless as before. Because he knew in his heart, that kind of strong man is definitely not something he can deal with alone. If you can't give the fatal blow at the best time, at that time, they will be the ones who are in danger. Just when the Marine headquarters was ready to do something. BIGMOM pirates, after everyone saw the terrifying strength of the bald head. Can't help but take a breath. I'm afraid that the next target of that bald head will be them. And Katakuri and Big Mom gave up the idea of escaping from Marineford at this moment. Because in front of that bald head, there is no way they can escape. There is no possibility of escape at all. Mama, it looks like our hands are up. Katakuri's tone was serious, the trident in his hand shone with a piercing cold light. After hearing this, the ant hummed lightly, looking subconsciously at Kaido. Seems to be waiting for Kaido to strike first, after all, she doesn't want to be the first one. It seems to have noticed the gaze cast by the ant. Kaido snorted coldly, I am very dissatisfied, that stinky old woman wants Laozi to be the pioneer? Why doesn't she die? Seeing that Kaido's breath suddenly became irritable. Jin seems to have thought of something, frowning, he locked his eyes on the ant. But Jin didn't stay for long, just glanced at it. He withdrew his gaze, and asked, Master Kaido, what should we do next? Fighting to death with that bald head or, in the end? Jin glanced at the movements of the major forces in the arena. After seeing that many forces have plans to attack. Then Jin opened his mouth and continued, or wait for those guys to make the first move. Facing the multiple choice questions thrown by Jin, Kaido didn't hesitate for a moment, carry the mace directly on your shoulders. Shouted angrily, little ones, cheer up Laozi, since the guys from Bikini Bottom want to start an all-out war with us. Then fight. Kaido has a loud voice, so big that even the red hair pirates who are hundreds of meters away from him can hear it. However, after hearing Kaido's angry shout, the Redhead. Take a deep breath, cold voice. Is everything ready? Well, ready? This battle is quite possibly the toughest we've ever fought. Successful or not, we must ensure that Marineford is not destroyed. Boss, we are waiting for your words, as all the major forces are ready to fight against the powerful forces from Impel Down, but there are differences. The top powerhouses headed by the Red Earl, their purpose is clear. That is to follow in the footsteps of the Great Army. Encircle and suppress Xizang. As long as someone takes the lead, they will surely follow. While the other part, they are people who are greedy for life and afraid of death. Their point of view is, I managed to escape from Impel Down. But to participate in a narrow death war, they don't want to do this kind of thing that cost their lives. However, most of these people are not from the endless hell. It is also a group of guys with different strengths. So, for their decision, the Red Earl didn't respond. Instead, discuss their combat preparations on the sidelines. At the same time, the one who defeated Akainu, Aokiji, and Kizaru is strong. He glanced indifferently at the people present, with a very cold attitude, he said. Come on sir, let me meet the strong man outside the forest. At this time, as the world's #1 swordsman, Hawkeye takes a step forward. With a slightly questioning tone, he stared at the axe hanging on Xizang's waist. Shen Sheng said, I can feel the infinite sword intent from your body. But why is your weapon an axe claw? For Hawkeye inquiries. After thinking for a moment, he replied, the way of the sword is almost the same as the way of the axe, but they are very different. But you won't let me wield this axe, so stop here, my lord. Chapter 66 Only strong, your excellency is still too weak. Hold on, sir, it is a kindness to you not to use weapons. As soon as this remark came out, the whole world is boiling. I've seen arrogant guys, never seen such arrogance. If it weren't for the easy defeat of Marine 3 Admiral earlier, I'm afraid that every mouthful of saliva will forcefully drown. However, even if he showed his terrifying strength to the world. But there are still many people who think that only being strong is an arrogant guy. After all the forces present, they are all ready to launch an offensive against them. That guy is really too arrogant, inside the newspaper headquarters. Morgans exclaimed, if it wasn't for Chang Chang's impressive record of defeating the 3 admirals easily. I'm afraid that his unscrupulous sarcasm has long been beyond his control. But, even so, he still feels that only being strong is a bit too arrogant. Want to know which of the people present is not a super powerhouse? Not to mention the top combat power at the Marine headquarters. After all, the top combat power that has not shown up. Only Commander-in-Chief Kong remains, and Marine Academy Chief Instructor Zephyr. As for the pirates, except for the Shichibukai, Emperor of the New World. Bounty. 5,046,000,000 Baileys, known as the world's strongest man Whitebeard. And the captains of his various teams, Bounty. 4,611,100,000 Baileys. Known as the undead monster Kaido of the Beasts, as well as the 3 disasters and the 6 volleys under his command. Bounty. 4.388 billion Baileys, BIGMOM, the woman known as the Kong Balloon. And his children. Bounty. 4,048,900,000 Baileys. Known as the youngest 4 emperors red-haired Shanks. And its officers, although the Redhead is the youngest of the 4 emperors. But that doesn't mean he's the weakest, and Red Hair Pirates is also known as the Iron Wall Pirates. The strength of each cadre and captain is almost the same. Except the well-known 4 Emperors Pirates, and quite a few monsters from Impel Down Eternal Hell. Only by one person, a man who can stand on equal footing with Roger, Whitebeard and others. Lonely Red, Earl of Red, Valoric Redfield, One Piece Roger's crew. The man who is called the Descendant of the Devil. Douglas Bullet. Frozen for 30 years, the man who bears the title of Destroyer of Worlds. Burndy World. 900, certainly, and some mighty guys. Now following Blackbeard to find a way to escape. When they found out that they couldn't find a way out. It is estimated that they will also join this unprecedented battle. Besides these people and a legendary pirate, a bounty of 4.564 billion Baileys is offered. Known as the Overlord of the Sky, Golden Lion Shiki. And, according to Morgan's intelligence, there are also many powerful monsters. On the way to the battlefield at Marineford, besides. And the Knights of God, this powerful existence that Morgans did not know about. Now also on the battlefield at Marineford, among these people. No matter which one is singled out, they are all existences that can make the whole world tremble. But in front of such an unprecedented and powerful lineup. The bald man, how dare you look down upon the heroes? Face all the monsters alone? If it weren't for this being on the battlefield. Morgans must think this guy is out of his mind, at the same time. Pengdu City, in the Hall of Powers, looking at the bald man in the picture. 5 Elders' ashen complexion gradually improved, What an overbearing fellow, if that guy chooses to defeat one by one. We may really have nothing to do with him, indeed, but that guy is too arrogant. If those pirates join forces to attack him, this is not a good thing. At least that's the case, and solve a big problem for us. In the end, 5 elders couldn't help showing a triumphant smile on their face. At the same time, he locked his eyes on Ji Chang. They all seemed to be looking forward to only Chang's death. After all, as long as one is strong, one dies, even if the bridge between Bikibao and those pirate forces has been formed. And in order to resist the vengeance of Bikini Bottom, those pirates will definitely unite against Bikini Bottom. At that time, both sides fight to the end, it will definitely be a lose-lose situation. And the world government, just sit on the fishing platform. Be the biggest winner in this battle, advertisement. Just when the eyes of the whole world are locked on only Chang. In the realm of mystery, after Al tried to revise several times, stopped working, and prepared to check the battle situation through Brother Zhang's perspective. After seeing Zhang's disdainful appearance, the corner of Al's mouth draws a curve. Tisk tisk, you really deserve to be strong, if pretense can be scored. This has to be a perfect score, just when Al was talking about it. Suddenly a new idea popped into my mind, since New World cannot be like Go Shang Ling. Become a fantasy world where all people are armed. Then why can't it be like Beechburg, create a fantasy world full of technology? Think of this, Al had a strange thought in his heart again. If it is possible to do so, then there is a great probability. Create the original appearance of that cat, just get rid of its timidity. Then he must become the strongest existence that surpasses Zhang. After all that guy, but it represents the existence of the law of life. Got an idea, Al immediately opened the creation page. Open black lens bracket creating a new world close black lens bracket, while Al was busy creating new world. On the battlefield of Marineford, the people present. It seems that only Chang's words completely ignited the anger in my heart. Gu la la la. Stinky brat, I advise you to take up arms and fight us. Don't regret it when your head is about to move. Mama Tilda. What an arrogant brat, how dare you say such arrogant words. I'm not afraid of the wind flashing my tongue, Rororo. Is not using weapons a kindness to Zuo? That's the funniest joke I've ever heard in my life. Little ghost, I hope you won't regret saying this when the time comes. Gee ha ha ha, hey, let me tell you, where did you find this guy? It's so funny to say it, such an arrogant tone. Even that Rocks guy didn't have one, for a while. The whole battlefield seems to be amused by only strong words. Even those trembling pirate crew members, at this moment, it is also constantly provoking words. Instead, the Redhead, now he is frowning, it seems to be thinking about whether Zhang is slapping a swollen face to pretend to be fat. Or is it really that powerful? But with the prelude to Marine 3 Admiral being killed in seconds. A Redhead's instinct leans more towards the latter. But the inner arrogance is more inclined to the former. After all, there are too many forces present, as the voices of discussion and ridicule continue to increase. Almost covering the entire battlefield, however, only after hearing these arguments. But totally inappropriate, because the real strong. You won't be disturbed by a few words of disdain from the weak. Not because of the provocation of the weak, and take it to heart. Seeing that Hawkeye is still walking forward, I can only send out a kind reminder once again. Hold on, Your Excellency, if you are still stubborn. Then I can only say sorry in advance to Your Excellency. For only strong words of advice, Hawkeye didn't buy it. Because he can, a god, from the battered rusty axe at his waist. Feel a terrifying power far beyond the ruffian's eyes. Even if it will be hung on the waist, an axe that can also exude terrifying sword intent all the time. For Hawkeye, it is simply an unheard of strange thing. It also reminded Hawkeye, a legend I heard while traveling around the world. When a great swordsman masters the way of swordsmanship and reach the pinnacle, the great swordsman's own sword intent can be integrated into the sword body. And the sword blended with sword intent will be like a rusty axe at the waist. Even without holding it in your hand, it will also exude a strong sword intent all the time. At first Hawkeye only thought it was a legend, didn't care too much. But now tell him the legend is true. There is only one thought in Hawkeye's mind at this moment. That is anyway, I also want to witness the intent of the sword when I hold the sword forcefully. How high can it reach? Seems like Hawkeye doesn't listen to advice. It's just that I didn't continue to get used to him anymore. Then shook his head, the tone was still indifferent and said. Since Your Excellency insists on this, then I have nothing to say. The moment the voice rang, a strong and muscular body suddenly smashed into the air. Appeared behind Hawkeye across a distance of hundreds of meters like lightning. Just when he was only trying to knock Hawkeye away with a single blow. But found Hawkeye standing where he was, and there's no point in avoiding it. Next second, Hawkeye's tone is cold, with a very strong attitude, he said. Advertisement, draw the axe, only you who are armed will defeat you. I am eligible to be called the world's #1 swordsman. With the voice falling, just forcefully stop what you're doing. Stomping the air in midair, and made a 360-degree turn in midair. Resting on a boulder, with a sneer, Your Excellency, I still say the same thing. It is a kindness to you not to use weapons, this is the last reminder. It is also the last sentence I send to Your Excellency. Wake up now, Your Excellency may still survive. almost at the same time as the strong voice fell to the ground. Hawkeye said without hesitation, "Draw out the axe. I don't need mercy or anything. Okay, since your excellency is determined to seek death. Then I won't talk nonsense anymore." Conversation room. Only Chang slowly removed the rusty axe from his waist. The moment Ji Jiang took off the rusty axe, the fearful coercion like Senrahel, like a torrent centered on strength, make waves, flood the entire Marineford in an instant. A suffocating sense of oppression spread across the surface. On the execution stand, the hearts of all the powerhouses including Kong couldn't help trembling. In the originally calm sea of hearts, it set off a storm. Even if you were not a swordsman, under this unparalleled coercion, I also felt the bursts of axe intent that directly hit the soul exuded by the rusty axe. Looking at the trembling Kong Yunki in his hands, Whitebeard couldn't help being shocked. What the hell is going on? Why is my knife trembling? Is it because of the broken axe? It is not only Whitebeard's Kong Yunki who has such strange things. Almost all famous knives, trembling right now, it seems to be afraid of that rusty axe. And Hawkeye standing not far away, Haidao Yi behind him. More because of that rusty axe, there was a violent tremor. Till Hawkeye took it in his hand, and poured a lot of hockey into the Black Knife Knight. Only then did he manage to stabilize the Black Knife. Yi no longer continued to tremble. It's amazing to have the guts to challenge me, but that's all I can praise you for. Accompanied by only strong and cold words fall, instantly. The howling wind sounded like a series of explosions as if the air was split. Looking at the crescent-shaped sword chi that only Chang slashed at will. Eagle-eyed pupils constrict. Suddenly, a terrifying aura like that of Shira burst out from his body. Next second, Hawkeye took a sudden step, the arms holding the knife handle are even more blue veins. Clang. The dull sound made by the collision of gold and iron echoes over Marineford. Instantly, innumerable dark black lightnings are produced in the collision, and quickly spread around, its horror aftermath. It seems to tear the whole world apart. Hawkeye's forehead couldn't help but a trace of cold sweat broke out. The blue veins in the arms became more and more obvious. It looks like it's about to burst out of flesh and blood. Next second, with a cry from Hawkeye, the terrifying and violent horror flames swallowed it instantly. Click, 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 the formless space breaks apart like substance. Make a series of piercing crackling sounds. With a roaring explosion, it exploded in midair. Hawkeye was panting heavily with sweat, and at his feet, two huge bottomless cracks, the range stretching for hundreds of meters has just reached the end. It's been too long since I've used an axe, the technique is a little rusty. Just look at the eagle eye lightly. Next second, blood gushes out like a fountain. Looking at the hideous rift that used to occupy half of the body, Hawkeye clenched his shoulders and knelt on one knee. Fall into a brief coma. See this situation, everyone present took a deep breath. On the contrary, only Strong, then put the rusty axe back into the sheath again. Look around in the crowd, seems to be looking for the next target. While only force locking on the target, red hair unsheathed. The terrifying coercion like a demon god swept over in an instant. Almost at the same time, Whitebeard holds Kong Yunki tightly, slashing out a terrifying sword energy that shatters the space. Straight to the point, but only when faced with the siege of 2-4 Emperor's powerhouses. But he shook his head very calmly. Your Excellency is not weak. I can even get it from your Excellency, seeing the figures of my two old friends in the forest. Certainly, just a momentary figure. Chapter 67. 5 elders are confused. 1 against 10? A strong man from 3,000 years ago? Chapter 67. 5 elders are confused. 1 against 10? A strong man from 3,000 years ago? Look at the two semi-arc-shaped sword chi filled with destructive aura whistling. Only Strong but unusually calm standing in place. There is no thought of evasion at all. With an axe as a sword, you can open the gate of heaven. Advertisement, just snap your fingers lightly. Next second, rusty axe seems to be summoned by some kind. Clang. It flew out of the axe sheath. While rotating 720 degrees in the air, it fell into the hands of Ji Jiang with incomparable precision. The howling wind splits the air and sends out a series of roaring explosions. Seeing two sword chi filled with destructive aura, when the distance is only less than 10 meters away. But I saw only one strong arm shook, terrifying flames spewed out like a volcanic eruption. Next moment, the crimson arrogance quickly spread along his arms to the rust axe. Click, 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 the crisp sound of rust peeling off. But I just have to hold my breath and concentrate. Holding the handle of the axe with both arms, make a slashing motion. In an instant, the storm surged. Bang, suddenly, a flash of lightning flashed by. The whole world suddenly fell into a dead silence. That is as terrifying and coercive as Shira, it's like tearing the whole world apart. While waving, the rust on the rusty axe will also fall off. Under the shining light, show your sharp side to the world. At the same time, on board the Golden Lion spaceship. After seeing the scene in front of him, Ruffian eyes can't help feeling cold, that is. Don't wait for the ruffian to finish speaking. King Gigi standing beside him suddenly cursed. Is this idiot planning to split the whole island in half? Words fall, the Golden Lion suspended in midair couldn't help but be surprised. Hey, are you kidding me? Splitting an entire island in half with one blow? How could someone do such a thing? looking at the unseen appearance of the Golden Lion. Everyone in Beechburg, including Gigi, sneered, Huang Deer sarcastically said without any concealment. What a bumpkin who has never seen the world. Just because you haven't seen it doesn't mean that guy can't do it. You must know that in the Great War 3,000 years ago, it's that guy who cut a whole continent into countless islands. In the end, Huang Deer directly ignored Golden Lion. Turned around and urged to discuss with everyone whether to stop Zhejiang. After all, according to the strong destructive power, the probability of destroying the entire island is 100%. If not stopped, they will not be able to complete the task that the adult entrusted to them. Whole material Golden Lion, after listening to Huang Deer's words. The brain crashed on the spot, full of doubts and at the same time full of horror. The Great War 3,000 years ago? Cut an entire continent into countless islands? For a while, Golden Lion only thinks that his ears are broken? But if there is no problem with the ear, then it must be Huang Deer talking in his sleep. 3,000 years ago, whether there were human beings is the same thing. Even if there is the human beings who lived 3,000 years ago. How is it possible to live until now, most outrageously? In this world 3,000 years ago, countless islands are closely connected? The reason why it will be divided into countless islands. Was it because of a big fight that the bald man hacked him like this? The amount of information contained in a few short sentences almost overwhelmed the Golden Lion's mind. After all, this is truly astonishing. The world 3,000 years ago, it is too far away for them now. So that Golden Lion can't imagine it at all, the world 3,000 years ago. What kind of scene is it? Not only the Golden Lion is incredible. After hearing the news, the powerful people below the spaceship. It was full of astonishment and shock. Hey, Bullet. Do you think what those guys say can be believed? Burndy World patted Bullet on the shoulder, asked with a puzzled face. For inquiries from Burndy World, Bullet thought for a moment and called him an idiot. After all, how could humans who lived 3,000 years ago survive to the present? Although Bullet said so, but two big characters vaguely appeared in my mind. Eternal life, however, when these two characters first surfaced. It was rejected by Bullet. Is out of instinct, or is it out of intuition and self-cognition of the world? Bullet doesn't know either, but no matter what, no one seemed to support him in believing this absurd thing. See Bullet and Burndy World lost in thought, the Red Earl standing beside him sneered. What two idiots, how could such an incredible thing happen? You must know that there are tens of thousands of islands in this world. Advertisement, if these islands are all connected. In the end, the Red Earl glanced at them like a fool. Then he locked his eyes on Ji Chang. Stop talking to these two idiots. Reminded by the Red Earl, Bullet and Burndy World also suddenly woke up. If there were countless islands and Red Line connected together, its scale is simply unimaginable, and it is such a colossus. But was chopped into countless pieces by a human? Those guys are really good at talking big. Burndy World was the first to make a disdainful voice. And Bullet also looked at idiots with eyes, glancing at Burndy World. At the same time angrily said, don't say such idiot words in the future. Was angrily reprimanded by Bullet. Burndy World is naturally not happy. Dang even got into an argument with Bullet, and while they were arguing, Holy Land Marijoy, Pangu City in the Hall of Powers. 5 elders, after listening to what Huang Deer said, eyes full of horror and astonishment, to know that Bikini Bottom existed 1,000 years ago. It made them feel incredible. Now there is a human who lived 3,000 years ago. How did this make them accept it for a while? Ridiculous, this is simply ridiculous. Not to mention whether there were human beings 3,000 years ago. Based on what that guy said between the islands 3,000 years ago. It's a bunch of bullshit that's tied together, it can't be true. Jagarcia Satan San stood up, with a very strong attitude, he vetoed everything Huang Deer said. Not only him, all the 5 elders present, I can't believe this absurd and ridiculous thing. Connect all the islands with the Red Line, don't say it's because of a big war. Even with the one invented by Vegapunk, weapons capable of destroying islands. I don't know how long it will take, the behemoth gave countless fragments after the bombardment. Even with 3 ancient weapons, continuous bombing, destruction. It can take months or even years to only then will it be possible to successfully destroy this monster. A big fight, one person with one axe? Even in a dream. It's impossible to have such an outrageous dream, right? It's time to stop, everyone, instead of this silly joke. I think we should think more about it, how to deal with that bald man. As the voice of top man Wochu Lisheng fell, the 5 elders present couldn't help being stunned for a moment. As if to say, what do you think of the bald man? Can you deal with so many strong men on the battlefield? Seeing everyone staring at me, top man Wochu Lisheng coughed lightly. Everything has to be prepared for the worst. 17. Okay, let's continue reading. Marineford Battlefield Edge. With the rust falling, the flickering axe looks like it's alive. Instantly, the storm is surging, the howling wind splits the air. Let out a series of deafening gas explosions. Next moment, only the ground under his feet cracked instantly. Strong airwaves in midair condensed into a half-arc sword slash. Click. I only heard an explosion sound like space shattering. Half-arc sword slash, like a torrent, it cut the surrounding air fiercely. As the cracks in the ground spread rapidly, flashlight. The 3 sword chis collided violently in midair. In an instant, the whole world seems to be affected. The dark sky, now more gloomy, it looks like it's about to collapse. Crimson lightning shot straight into the sky, have a fierce collision with the flashing thunder in the sky. Next moment, the ear-piercing shattering bang, at first glance. The red hair and Whitebeard's full sword slashing. Shattered like dots of stars. Click, click, click. The sonic boom produced by the splitting of the air. Mixed with the sound of cracking the ground, there was a loud bang. Looking at the terrifying sword energy in front of him, everyone present couldn't help but feel their scalps go numb. And the crowd of Whitebeard and red hair pirates. At this moment, his eyes widened even more, face full of doubt and horror. It's as if everything in front of me is like a dream. No time to react, a strong crisis is coming like a tide. Advertisement. Next moment, sensing something was wrong, the Redhead and Whitebeard immediately shouted. 0. Ask for flowers. Quick, run. The moment the words fall to the ground. Redhead and Whitebeard shot at the same time. It seems that he wants to do his best to block this blow. Almost at the same time, Kaido of the Beasts, Big Mom. Red Earl, Barlet, Garp, Sengoku, wait for all the powerful people to move. Dozens of lightning-like figures flashed across the battlefield. Even if the instinct of the body is strongly preventing them. But for the safety of the crew and marine soldiers. They have to, if no one blocks this sword energy. God knows this hit down, what a terrible casualty situation it will cause. At this time, on the Golden Lion spaceship, everyone in Beechburg seems to have discussed the battle plan. This idiot, can't you take a look at the direction when you swing this blow? King Gigi complained dissatisfiedly and then jumped up. Rushed to the forefront across thousands of meters like lightning. It's really troublesome. Huang Mian shrugged. The body quickly transformed into countless particles followed closely behind. The others looked at each other without the slightest hesitation. Immediately, a ferocious, violent, and terrifying momentum burst out and charged away. In an instant, it was as if the entire world had been frozen in time. After seeing this scene, people all over the world. The body trembled uncontrollably, as if in the middle of the battlefield. With just one glance, the whole body is eroded by endless fear. Then, what kind of monster is that? Just one blow, is it worth so many strong people to resist? Even those guys from Beechburg took a shot. This is simply too. Hey, don't faint. World News Headquarters, Morgan stared at the scene in front of him. Next moment, the feeling of suffocation spreads like a tide. At this moment, he only felt a pair of big invisible hands pinching his throat. While suffocating, the blood in the whole body also rushed straight to the sky like a countercurrent. Morgan's trembling lips, I was so trembling that I couldn't even utter a complete sentence. And in the Hall of Power at this time seems to stop at this moment. The 5 elders are like stone statues at this time. The body is stiff and sluggish in place, eyes full of horror and astonishment. How is this possible? At the same time, on the sea not far from Marineford, standing on a rock with a smile, suspended in midair. Next second, smiling as if aware of something, there was a horrified expression on his face. What the hell is that? Why is there such a terrifying sword energy? New World, on the square outside the Revolutionary Army headquarters base. Looking at the scene where dozens of figures flash past in the curtain. Drago couldn't help but frown, the eyes are full of horror. And Sabo standing beside him, even subconsciously stepped back. The great fear eroded his heart in just a moment. Trembling lips seemed to want to say something. But I can't say a single word, on the execution stand. Kong couldn't help feeling chills down his spine. It's like being in the very center of the sword energy. While stupefied, Redhead and Whitebeard figure, it has come to only tens of meters away from the sword energy. It seems that he felt the terrifying coercion contained in the sword energy. Redhead and Whitebeard's great sword vibrate violently like fear. Damn it! The Redhead let out a silent growl in his heart. Next moment, fierce, violent and terrifying aura gushes out like a fountain. The crimson arrogance quickly climbed to the blade. Only then did he barely stabilize the griffin who was shaking violently in his hand. Whitebeard did not dare to delay seeing this, an even more brutal and terrifying aura erupted. The red gas flame is like a tranquilizer, forcibly suppressed Kong Yunki in his hand. Red-haired kid, don't hold Laozi back, Gu la la la. In the devilish laughter, Whitebeard's eyes turned cold. Stride forward, make a swinging motion. Chapter 68 The world is shocked. Go Shang Ling exposure. Chapter 68 The world shocked. Go Shang Ridge exposed. Scoff next second. The figure of King Gigi spans a distance of nearly 100 meters. Appeared like lightning behind Whitebeard, the wooden scepter thrown in the hand splits the air even more. Gone before the eyes of the whole world, just one look is enough to sting the eyes. The howling wind howls, there was a series of violent explosions in the air. Almost at the moment when the scepter collided with that sword energy. Whitebeard and Redhead, immediately, he slashed out a dreadful sword aura that made one's heart palpitate. Click, 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 a series of palpitating cracking sounds sounded at the moment. Countless violent red-black lightning rapidly spread around. The terrifying coercion is like a churning tide, slap on Whitebeard's and Redhead's bodies. Accompanied by a series of crackling explosions, Redhead and Whitebeard's clothing instantly exploded into countless pieces, the appearance of bloodstains. It also made the Redhead and Whitebeard aware of a strong crisis. Without a moment's delay, the Redhead and Whitebeard's figure quickly evacuated. As if staying for another second, it will be reduced to crumbs in this terrifying sword energy. At the same time they evacuated, the ear-piercing crackling sound resounded. Received the wooden scepter that was thrown away. King Gigi's pupils constrict, it quickly turned into a streamer and evacuated the area covered by the sword energy. Can't you restrain yourself just by being stronger? King Gigi cursed secretly in his heart, then set your sights on everyone in Beechburg. As for others, Gigi doesn't even think they can withstand a strong full blow. In his impression, those who can block only a strong blow. Only those two are the guardians of that forest, and the king in the depths of the forest, 590. Following the failure of 2 people and 1 monkey to block. The officers and crew of the Whitebeard pirates, all eyes widened. Face full of horror and disbelief, that's their father. Emperor of the New World. A legendary pirate with a bounty of 5,046,000,000 Baileys. He is also known as the strongest man in the world. Now I can't hold it for even 10 seconds, he even ended up with injuries all over his body? Not only the members of the Whitebeard pirates were horrified and surprised by this. Red Hair pirates officers and subordinates, at this moment, it stands like a lifelike statue standing in place. Are you kidding me? Beckman's heart skipped a beat. Surprised tone mixed with a little panic. What is the strength of Red Hair? I'm afraid no one knows better than him, the Emperor's deputy. But even a man as strong as a Redhead, united with the current strongest 4 Emperors Whitebeard. Plus the monkey that appeared at the same time as the bald man. Gather the strength of 3 people, there is no way to stop that terrifying sword energy. That guy is a monster coming out of there, Usopp subconsciously stood forward. Use your body to block your weaker companions, the anxious tone was full of doubts. Ghost knows. I just know that our current situation is very dangerous. If you can't block that damn sword energy, there is no way to escape this area with the current time alone. Seems like it's been a long time since I've seen Beckman so impatient. The crew including Usopp couldn't help but be taken aback. However, as Beckman said, if no one can stop that sword energy. Except for some powerful cadres who have the ability to survive. The rest of the crew will be reduced to powder under that sword energy. However, the pirate group affected by this sword energy. Not just Red Hair pirates, Whitebeard pirates, Bigmom pirates, Beasts pirates. Pole, almost all of them are within the range affected by this sword energy. But compared to Red Hair pirates and Whitebeard pirates, the remaining 2 pirate groups are much calmer. After all, their captain hasn't lost yet. Damn it, Napoleon, calm down, old lady, roaring. Napoleon, who was shaking violently, gradually calmed down. Mama, that guy, before Napoleon had finished speaking. The aunt immediately shouted angrily, shut up for my old lady. If you can't bear this blow, everything about my mother will come to naught. Talk off aunt let out a sigh of relief, like a bloodthirsty beast overlooking its prey, the tyrannical breath burst out of her body. At the same time, the red gaseous flames surrounding his body gradually turned into substance. Wrap around the fist along the arm, with scarlet eyes. It burst out with a scarlet flame, just as Big Mom is facing forward. The moment he slashed down, Kaido's burly body like an iron tower broke through the air. At the moment of a series of explosions, the mace tightly held in his hand suddenly swung out. But the next second, advertisement Kaido pupil constriction. Face full of horror and disbelief, without waiting for his reaction. Just hear a piercing bang, clang, between mace and sword energy. Make a deafening sound of gold and iron clashing. Echoes throughout the island, next moment, under that destructive sword energy. The mace in Kaido's hand, distorted like paper paste. Eventually it shatters into pieces and explodes. The aftermath of terror reverberates on Kaido. Fortunately, Big Mom's sword energy bought Kaido a few breaths of time. This also gave him a chance to escape, if not, I'm afraid his body will be like paper. It was cut in half by that terrifying sword aura. It may even become a pile of debris directly. Kaido, who escaped from death, couldn't help shivering. That might be the closest he was to death, although he contemplates suicide all day long. But that's because of him, it's been a long time since I felt the breath of death. The moment Kaido escaped from death, the Napoleon in Big Mom's hands shook violently again. Damn it, Napoleon, give it to my old lady, before the aunt's cursing sound came out of her mouth. The screaming airwaves hit her face fiercely, without the slightest hesitation. Grandma immediately gritted her teeth, trying to escape with all my strength. However, although the ant's reaction speed is already very fast, but still can't avoid it completely, it just wiped the air driven by the edge of the sword energy. Next moment, blood splatters, a terrifying and ferocious slit runs across the entire arm from the palm. Mama, all members of the Bigmom pirates including Katakuri. When seeing the splattered drops of blood, my heart is going crazy. But now in this situation, even if they want to rush over, it is impossible. Damn, Katakuri clenched his fists. So hard that even the nails are embedded in the flesh. Sen Lang's eyes fixed on Ji Chang's body. I can't wait to rush over and stir it into a meat paste. Pity, only with him now, don't talk about posing any threat to Ji Chang. Not even their captain could take a strong blow, compared to the eagerness of the BIGMOM pirates. Beast's Pirates has multiple emotions, the faction represented by the Three Plagues Jack. Everyone is secretly happy in their hearts at this moment. Seems to wish Kaido would die sooner, in this case. He could be the captain of the Beast's Pirates, but Quinn was extremely worried. I'm afraid that something bad will happen to Kaido. Then the Beast's Pirates would be leaderless, as for Ember. Although I am also very worried, but what he cares more about is the strong strength. It's just a slash of sword energy, already defeated 5 people. Such a powerful existence, completely inspired the competitive spirit deep in his heart. At the same time, in the lounge of Marine headquarters, the Knights of God who were just about to start, after seeing the slashing sword energy filled with destructive aura, all fell into silence, even the favorite Mirror Knight. Now like a piece of wood, standing there stupidly, not knowing what to think. Those 4 monsters of the new world add up, can't you disperse that sword energy? Saint Figaland stared at Ji Jiang with deep eyes, seems to want to pass observation hockey. Come to find out if the only strong breath is disordered. However, when he sensed the aura emanating from Chi Chang's body, can't help but feel the chills down the spine. What a horrible monster. Where did that guy come from? Without a moment's hesitation, Saint Figaland immediately contacted the world government. Want to ask 5 elders, do you know the information about that bald man? After all, such a powerful existence, the world government more or less probably knows something. However, at the same time, inside the Hall of Power, 5 elders looked at the scene in front of them, eyes full of shock and surprise, to know, those are the 4 monsters that even the world government has a headache. As a result, when faced with the blow from the bald man. But it was just a face-to-face defeat, and still lost so completely. Just when 5 elders was about to say something, the appearance of Garp, Sengoku, and Zephyr let the 5 elders see their last hope. On the battlefield of Marineford, seeing that Kaido and Big Mom failed to stop the sword energy, Garp and Zephyr couldn't help but frowned. Advertisement hastily stopped. Next moment, a horrifying aura like a demon god, coming like a stormy sea. The black gas flames wrapped around the body quickly rushed to the tip of the fist. Almost at the same time, Garp cooperates with Zephyr to charge bombardment. Moment, the fierce fist wind rolled up the dust. However, to the surprise of Garp and Zephyr, even with their full blow, it was only blocked for a few seconds. On the contrary, after that punch, both of them have obvious detachment. In normal battles, they all have a short reaction time after throwing a full-blown punch. But this time it was unusual, because that sword energy will not give them a moment to breathe. Plop. Plop. Zephyr's heart beat violently. It seems that the instinct of the body is reminding him to leave this area as soon as possible. If not, it must be a dead end. At this time, a dazzling golden light rise behind them like the sun, almost at the same time. Sengoku's angry roar also reached his ears. Get out of the way. With the roar of anger, Garp and Zephyr did not hesitate for a moment. Immediately retreat a few meters away. Next, the powerful shockwave bombarded that sword energy in a straight line. And that gave Garp and Zephyr some breathing room. Let them successfully evacuate from the range affected by the sword energy. Too late to make any adjustments, Garp and Zephyr turned into a white lightning again. Seems to be planning to retreat to the rear of the crowd. Once again, try your best to block this terrifying sword energy. However, they seem to have underestimated the speed of this sword energy. The Red Earl and others saw this. Immediately, one after another terrifying breath burst out. However, before they start shooting, Ruffian Beard, Crab Country, Shrimp, be the first to appear before them. Gu la la la. Little devils, run away. This is not a place for you to stay. When the voice landed, everyone in Beechburg gathered in midair. All of a sudden, particle rays, lava fist, ice wall, shockwave, fist wind, sandstorm, sword chi slash. Covered with sharp thin lines of armament hockey, a series of brilliant attack methods come out. Boom boom boom, the deafening explosions rolled up bursts of strong airwaves. Centered on the people of Bikini Bottom, it spreads around like a stormy sea. Until the last attack falls on the sword energy. Click, click, click. At the same time as the ear-piercing crackling sound, the stronger wind blew everyone present to pieces. In an instant, the whole world is as silent as death. All eyes are fixed on Ji Chang. People all over the world can't help but feel like they're in respiratory arrest. Next second, the whole world exploded in an instant. This is simply terrible. It's just a sword energy. 0.5. It takes dozens of experts to attack with all their strength to stop it. What kind of monster is that guy? While people all over the world are discussing and shocked, King Gigi holding wooden scepter, come before only Chang. He yelled. The next time you make a move, B*******************. D. Can you see the direction of the attack? In the end, King Gigi's tone became more and more irritable, pointing to Kaido and the Redhead. At the same time glaring only strong continued to anger the equator. If it weren't for those 2 guys delaying for a few seconds, me and the little ghosts of Beechburg, they will all be affected by your messy behavior. However, in the face of King Gigi's anger, there is only a strong face but no emotional changes. Just silently put the axe into the sheath. With a very indifferent attitude, he said. I knew you'd make a shot, that's why I don't have the slightest worry. Wen Yan. King Gigi suddenly flew into a rage. Immediately rebuked. You guys are exactly the same as you were 3,000 years ago. If it hadn't been for the Lord Sake, I don't want to see you be **********. King Gigi led everyone in Bikini Bot without looking back on board the Golden Lion's ship. The people present couldn't help being stunned. It seems to be recalling the previous conversation between King Gigi and Jijang. The guy said 3,000 years ago? Did I hear it wrong?